Okay. And this is Marcus Creed, 2-0, facing Jake Smith, super welter bout.
Super welterweight division, streamed live and exclusively on FightZone. This bout has been sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Our supervisor here at ringside, Mr. Warren Churchill. Our timekeeper of the bell for this bout, Mr. Martin Fallon. And our referee in charge of the action, third man in the ring and scoring the bout, Mr. Ryan Churchill. So ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, introducing to you first, boxing out of the blue corner, his official weight on the scales, 11 stone, 1 pound, 12 ounces. Tonight he enters the ring with a great experience, carried in his gloves, wearing the blue shorts from Doncaster, Yorkshire, presenting Jake Smith! His opponent tonight, standing across the ring, boxing out of the red corner. His official weight on the scale, 11 stone, 3 pounds, 2 ounces. Tonight he enters the ring with a perfect professional record, 2 victories and no defeats. Wearing the black and purple shorts from Nottingham. Our referee to give his final instructions.
And we're about to get underway. Marcus Creed v Jake Smith. Marcus Creed currently 2-0. Nice loose jab by Marcus. Marcus just working this Jake out. Nice stiff wrap on Marcus, nice 1-2. And just working, these two working each other out. Marcus just getting a feel of what his opponent can do. He's taking center string. These two are not really catching the light as of such. So I think Marcus just cautiously just working his opponent out, nice and steady. Nice combos by Marcus. He comes back out. Nice uppercut by Marcus again. Phil Marcus is just getting the feel. He's not slinging him in such. He's just seeing what his opponent can do. Jake Smith in the green and blue shorts, and Marcus Creed in the all black shorts. Marcus Creed currently 2-0. Currently just, as I said, better meaningful punches. And it's just a steady round by Kelvin. I'm just wondering what, Marcus Creed's coach is saying. It was just a nice, steady round. He hasn't really got into anything meaningful. And we're about to get underway with the second round. You can tell Marcus has just started out quite raw. Nice little body shot there. And he's starting to get a grip of Jake a little bit now. Nice right hand again. He's not catching the light as he should. And I'm joined by Stacey. There's now Marcus trying to get a little bit more central ring and trying to be a bit more dominant. Nice body shot by Marcus. Just coming around, last 10 seconds. Marcus in the black shorts and Jake Smith with the green and blue shorts with the green writing. Another round win for Marcus.
Second coach for the fourth and final round. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please show your appreciation for both boxers here in the ring. And after 4 rounds of action, we go to the referee's scorecard. He scores the bout 40-36 for your winner, Marcus. continues. So now, welcome into the ring to the blue corner, Sam Kirk. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, now welcome into the ring to the red corner, Macaulay Cartwright. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, on its bout of the evening, Scott Cato Boxing Promotions proudly presents 4 rounds of action in the super welterweight division, streamed live and exclusively on FightZone. So introducing to you first, this bout has been sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Their supervisor here at ringside, Mr. Warren Churchill. Our timekeeper of the bell for this bout, Martin Fallon, and our referee in charge of the action and scoring the bout from Wales, Chris Jones. So ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, introducing to you first, boxing out of the blue corner, his official weight on the scales, 11 stone, 2 pounds 4 ounces. Tonight he enters the ring with a professional record, 8 defeats and 1 draw. Wearing the black shorts from Doncaster, Yorkshire, presenting the Road Runner, Sam Kirk. His opponent tonight, standing across the ring and boxing out of the red corner. His official weight on the scales, 10 stone, 13 pounds, 14 ounces. Today, he enters the ring with a perfect professional record, 1 victory and no defeats. Wearing the green and gold shorts from Derbyshire, presenting Macaulay Cartwright. Our referee, Mr. Bruce Jones, to give his final instructions.
All your passion about the question blue, next to red, this looks good, that boys.
Finally set up and ready to go. Stacey Copeland here with you here in Nottingham.
sounds disaster almost.
Here at the Rushcliffe Arena in Nottingham for a night of boxing action under Scott Kalo Boxing Promotions. We've got some professional action. Marcus Reed got us underway against Jake Smith earlier, getting the win. And right now we've got Macaulay Cartwright and Sam Kirk. Cartwright in the green and gold shorts, Kirk in the black shorts. Cartwright 1-0, a 27-year-old from Derbyshire. Had his debut against MJ Hall in April in Derby. Got the points from there in the 4-rounder. Good account of himself in this opening round. Kirk 0-8-1. Only been stopped once, the 30-year-old from Doncaster. Goes by the Road Runner. He's living up to that name here, of course, covering every inch of the ring. He made his debut in February this year. He's had 6 points losses. Got a draw in October against Tom Brennan. He's scheduled to be back out again in December, so got a tough night's work on here though, because Cartwright piling on the pressure.
Quite aggressive Cartwright. I do like the variation, Stacey. I don't know about you. I just like, you know.
And also, just the sheer aggression. He's been relentless in this opening round, not happy just to go through the motions. He's really applied the pressure here.
You can see Sam Kirk's just got a cut.
Chin's up in the air, Kirk, in that corner, which thankfully for his sake, Cartwright didn't connect. It's a good opening round for Macaulay Cartwright, and we've got to remember this just his second outing as a professional as well. We've got 9 contests scheduled this evening. This our second bout of the evening. Sasha Booker and Ivanova up next. We've got Jack Dillingham, we've got Ray and Amos, Joe Hughes, Harvey Sturton, Spencer Binks and Kyle Davies all in action. Brought great fan support with them this evening. Very atmospheric here in the Rushcliffe Arena.
What I like about Cartwright is he just takes centre of the ring straight away. No messing about, slinging him in now. But saying that, he still gets caught as he comes in.
Good work here as Cartwright just pinned his man up against the ropes and went to work in that corner, but Kirk managed to wriggle his way out of trouble there.
I just feel Kirk's
He's utilised that backhand well out of that southpaw position, hasn't he?
I just feel Kirk is here just to survive, and it's just a matter of time what. It was a good dip by Kirk. Nice body shot by Cartwright. He's starting to unload. Good straight left by Cartwright. Another good round by Cartwright. As they go back to both fighters go back to the corner. And Cartwright just taking again centre of the ring, and he unloads. Oh, good look, backhand. And Cartwright starting to unload.
Right, he's really loaded up heavily. He's pinned Sam Kirk in the corner and he's really had to earn his purse tonight as the man from Doncaster, because there's been some heavy artillery coming his way from Cartwright in the green and gold. Just falls short with that lead hand there, but resets himself. Max Jenkins alongside me on co-commentary this evening. Good work again from Cartwright.
I feel
Crowd here inside the Rushcliffe Arena has really enjoyed this one, Max, haven't they? He's given them plenty to cheer about.
I feel there's a matter of time.
Massive backhand there.
Nice shot.
Knocks back the head of Sam Kirk, and he's really under pressure here.
I just feel there's a matter.
Well, he's scheduled to be out again in December, so it's imperative for him to make sure that he hears the final bell. And he's going to hear the bell to signal the end of round 3, but that remaining 3 minutes is going to feel like an awful long time, Max, because he's been under immense pressure from the 27-year-old from Derbyshire. Made his debut against MJ Hall in April in Derby. That was a 4-rounder. Sam Kirk, relatively new to the pro ranks, of course, made his debut in February this year, goes by the Road Runner. He's had 6 points losses, one by stoppage. Got a draw though in October against Tom Brennan, and he's looking to be out and active, as I say, scheduled to fight in December, but he's going to have to make sure that he's really switched on defensively here. Easier said than done, Max, given the ferocity of the punches and the sheer aggression coming at him from Macaulay Cartwright.
Yeah, I think as well, you know, Cartwright being a southpaw or coming out, he's very aggressive, takes centre of the ring, and you know, this could be a matter of time where he could stop his opponent.
And here we go then. We're in the Rushcliffe Arena in Nottingham. It's a huge arena,
Nice hook by
really wide
Cartwright.
but a low ceiling, so it makes for a great atmosphere in here, as Cartwright may well sense that he's got Sam Kirk troubled here and that he could go for the stoppage. Been relentless with this pressure, but it's been intelligent pressure. Good work from the man in green and gold, just goading each other there, and the crowd enjoying this one. As I say, it's got a really low ceiling, very wide open building, so it makes for a great atmosphere in here, and giving them plenty to cheer about as he chases him down, making that ring feel very small for Sam Kirk, Max.
Yeah, I think Cartwright is a matter of time. He's good at cutting the ring off. That's what I like about it. It's a matter of time. Nice shot.
Doesn't want to get caught in the corner and manages to just escape there after shipping a couple of big backhands. And
I want to see a bit of more work from Kirk here.
he doesn't want to be circling to his right, because that's right in the line of fire of that solid backhand that's been pummeling into his body and head multiple times from the southpaw stance of Cartwright.
He's it's just a matter of time. And nice shots, nice double shot there.
Taken some big shots in this one as Sam Kirk, but he's taken them well. He's absorbed that punishment, and some of them have landed clean, taken some on the gloves, but of course he'll still feel the force of them, Matt. Leading with the uppercut there, Cartwright.
Kirk just does not want to be in the corner. He just wants to be away from the corners. Does not want to be there. Nice backhand, nice variation there by Cartwright.
Into the final minute of the fourth and final round. Cartwright once again sets himself. Sam Kirk's done really well and utilised his fairly limited experience in the 9 contests that he's had, but he's done well surviving these storms, and they've been torrid at times. He's had to smother, close the space, fight fire with fire at times. And he himself will have gained a lot of experience from this one as well, because Cartwright has been not necessarily looking to force the stoppage, but certainly looks like it was on the cards at times here, Max. So Sam Kirk done really well to survive this one. Some heavy shots sinking into the body there as well.
I just think a little bit more pressure. Cartwright could have stopped that.
I'll tell you what, huge credit to Sam Kirk, because he's come in there and taken some huge blows throughout that contest, but did really well to hear the final bell, and that just shows just how tough he is. But a really good performance from Macaulay Cartwright, who was relentless with his pressure, displayed a nice variety of shots, and all in all a really good performance on his second bout as a professional.
He's got some. He's quite aggressive fighter, and I like the way he just stands centre of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please show your appreciation for the boxers here in the ring. But after the 4 rounds of action, we go to our referee's scorecard. Referee Chris Jones,
40-36, absolutely no surprise there, and a solid win for Macaulay Cartwright. I'm sure they've got plans to progress him from here, Max. That was an impressive display, albeit an away fighter with limited experience. He's only had the 9, so they'll look to maybe step that up for away fighters with that bit more experience and help his development from there.
To be honest, I would like to see for Cartwright's next fight is, you know, someone that's going to come and test him slightly, because I just feel some of these, no disrespect to the journeymen obviously come for a purse, and it's, you know, that's what they do. But, you know, judging by that, Cartwright does need someone stepping up and, you know, force him a little bit. So he has to fight, see if he can question him at times. But, you know, unfortunately, Sam Kirk didn't question him at all, really. But did the job of the journeyman, and that's, you know, that's what he's paid to do, I suppose.
Well, we have a professional debut coming up, and it's always a real pleasure to be ringside for the very beginning of somebody's professional career. And that's just what we have in store tonight for Sasha Booker here on her home soil in Nottingham.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, our action continues. So now, please welcome into the arena to the blue corner, Ivanova.
Huge occasion, of course, making your debut as a professional. It's a pressure, but also a privilege, of course, to be able to make that debut in front of your home support, as is the case for Sasha Booker here from Nottingham, and here she is in the Rushcliffe Arena making her professional debut. And here comes Sasha Booker then. We've just seen the Bulgarian Ivanova enter the ring. And a very composed looking Sasha Booker. As I say, a real pressure for your professional debut, but also huge excitement and adrenaline. And she'll be trying to soak all of that up and use it in here today. Huge support, rapturous applause. Brought great support with her, as you'd expect. And as I say, extra pressure, but also that extra privilege when you get to make your professional debut in front of a home crowd, as will be the case for Sasha Booker. She said she was really nervous ahead of this one. That is to be expected. And she'll be hoping to put on a great performance for these home fans.
Boxing debut.
So what an occasion for Sasha Booker, the 33-year-old from Nottingham, making her professional debut in front of a home crowd. Ivanova of Sofia in Bulgaria in the opposite corner. She's 6', 28 and 4. It's a relatively experienced 38-year-old. She's been a pro for 8 years, made a debut in 2016. She's been around, she's had her first 3 fights in France and Ireland, and then back on home soil in Bulgaria for a few after that, boxed all over the place since. Does have some decent names on her CV, the likes of Shannon Ryan, Nicola Hopewell, Tori Ellis-Willits as well, and a fiery start for Sasha Booker here. All that adrenaline searing through those veins, trying to channel it. Wonderful shot with the backhand there that drops Ivanova. What a start to her professional debut. Wonderful start for Sasha Booker. Ivanova takes a deep breath, gets ready to set herself. That height and reach advantage for Booker. Used it to great effect so far, but it was that backhand, that solid shot that did the damage. Trains at the Lansdowne Boxing Gym, coached by Sam Goodrum. He's also got Autumn Goodwin in a corner. Wonderful backhand again, just wobbles Ivanova, not quite steady on her feet, and she's complaining about something here, pointing to the back of her head. Not too sure why. Referee doesn't know either. He's happy for it to resume, but Booker, sharp shooting here and accurate, and that backhand is a real weapon for her. She slams it into the body of Ivanova. Really good start this for Booker, and Ivanova just needs to settle herself and get refocused.
I do like Sasha on these last, Sasha on these last sort of 2 times coming in. You know, she's timed these punches very well. So as she comes in, she's been clumsy opponent. So it's good to see.
2-minute rounds these, of course. We're scheduled for 6 2-minute rounds here. And they look like different weights, don't they? Because she is tall at the weight, Sasha Booker. We've had some good sparring with Katie Healy, Caitlin Wise, Ebony Jones, of course, silver Commonwealth champion, and she does have aspirations to become a world champion. Wants to fight for belts, and she'll know at the age of 33, Max, that she doesn't have much time here, Sasha Booker. 33, making a debut. Well, she'll want to progress rapidly, and a performance like this will help. And there we can see, it wasn't just the force of that backhand, it was where it landed, wasn't it?
It's where she was clumsy coming in, her opponent, and she did it quite well.
Just caught her right on the top of the head, and sometimes it can just really affect your equilibrium, can't it, and put you out of sorts for a moment. That's exactly the impact that shot had. Caught her again in the second round, so a fantastic start, the first round of Sasha Booker's professional career.
Yeah, I think Sasha's got these long levers which her opponent's trying to get past, and every time she gets past, I think she's timed it really well, Sasha.
And there's some fighters, Max, who have those long levers, and they're really able to get and generate their power from those long levers, aren't they? When they really put the body behind it and twist the hips, they get such traction on them, don't they?
Absolutely. And then,
as opposed to your short, stockier fighters that get their power from their legs as they...
See, the thing is if I was the opponent of Sasha's here, I'd be trying to bridge that gap. I'd be sitting on the chest all night. I'd be trying to force it, but she's just in that mid to long range where she's going to get caught, and it's just a matter of time, I feel, where she'll get a countdown.
This is better work from Ivanova though, pushing Booker up against the ropes, dropping down to the body and coming back up to the head, and she had success there with that backhand making its way through. Booker back behind the jab though. She won't want to leave too many openings for Ivanova, because you just get the sense that if she feels like she can have a go here, she will do.
I just feel like when she's going to launch her attack, Sasha's going to have her when she comes back in, and it's countering her as well. It's quite an art, really, if you think about it, for someone who's who's got limited experience. Just want Booker to be a little bit busier with that jab, Max, because here
She's just allowing Ivanova time to set herself and just edge in.
Yeah, just then.
And sometimes with that jab, she's just pouring it out instead of being commanding with it and stepping in with it.
I feel that's what some fighters do. They do pull that jab out. Should never pull that jab out. And she's got caught again.
Doesn't need to be within that range, Booker. She's got that reach advantage. I'd like to see her utilise it.
Yeah, definitely.
Rather than putting herself in a position where she's vulnerable, particularly to those overhand shots from Ivanova. Got into boxing on a whim, as it happens, 3 years ago, Sasha Booker, to release a bit of anger after lockdown. I'm sure that's a decision that she doesn't regret now, because look where she is after 8 amateur fights. And she has said, Max, the reason that she had limited amateur fights is because she wanted to turn professional as soon as possible, given her age. And there's lots of potential here. You can see she's got the real foundation to go forward with.
I mean, I'll put the question back to you, Stacey. I mean, you're bear in mind, let's look at it. You're a Commonwealth champion. How far, judging by seeing what Sasha can do, what do you think she can do? Where do you think is next for her?
It's difficult to tell this early on, but I think there's a lot of potential there. And these rounds will be really important for her. Ivanova's making it competitive, which is essential for Booker to improve. But if she can make a statement in these kind of matchups, Max, then it's going to help her towards her goals.
I just feel what you just said before, Stacey. I just want to see this jab busier. I want it out. I just want it pisting out a little bit busier. It's not enough for me.
And I think also, rather than just pouring with it there, which is letting Ivanova know that she's in range, really, and I'd rather she was just more commanding with it.
Yes.
I'd like to see her step in with it and be more dominant with that jab and use it as a weapon to deter Ivanova. That'll stop her from setting herself. It takes the momentum away, which you need as that shorter fighter, of course.
Definitely.
And if by pouring that jab out, it gives her the opportunity just to come in over the top. So I'd like to see Booker step in with that jab and then step away and close the distance and maybe walk her onto a backhand.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see later on how Jake Dillingham does it. Dillingham, which is later on the bout down this card. Look now, she's getting caught again.
Good exchanges between these two, though, when they come together, because she is able to work on the inside, Booker. Just doesn't need to be there. It's advantageous to Ivanova to be in that position.
Just feel she can just pivot off in those moments, Booker. Like now, she pivot off, get away from the corner. So just jab, to get that jab busier. That jab needs to be busier.
And also she can set up the backhand from that, as she was doing in that first round. She can work off that jab, can't she?
Yeah.
A show of respect to the two touch gloves. Played football previously, Sasha Booker, for Notts County, so you come across that quite a lot, don't you, with boxers that they've had a dabble at football. Seeing some of these ferocious exchanges here on your screen. Good work from both of them. Do you feel, though, that Sasha Booker has the advantage in terms of technical ability? Just needs to use it to her advantage and not allow herself to get dragged into a brawl, which is what Ivanova's done effectively in that previous round.
I feel Sasha's just let her in that last round come into the fight a bit when she doesn't need to. I mean, you can't sit back, but you know Sasha needs, just to get the rounds in the bank, but at the same time is not be lazy.
She got a last win last September against Sylvia Vasileva, did Ivanova. All been points losses since, with the exception of a draw in June against Silva Doligala in Oldham. So, been over here on these shores boxing on a number of occasions, and as I said, she's been all over the place. France Island, well travelled. Seems decent experience. She's had over 30 contests, so It's a good test for Sasha Booker, this, because as well, Ivanova will have had many more experiences of dealing with different styles and different tactics and opponents, so she's got the benefit of experience of having to make adaptations to what's in front of her. Booker less so, learning on the job more, but learning well, and when she fires up with that backhand, there's some real zip and power in it, isn't there?
Yes, definitely. I think just what I want from Sasha, and we've said it before, just be busy with that jab, don't pour it out, make sure these jabs are meaningful. But not only that, is a smaller fighter, and anyone would tell you, I don't know if this is told to you, Stacey, and you're a fighter, you know, if you're the bigger fighter or taller fighter, you shouldn't be walked down. You know, you should be taking the centre of that ring, in my opinion, anyway.
I'd like to see her try and bring in the uppercut as well, because that's often a good shot, isn't it, for the taller fighter with long levers. Just whip that right up the middle, because Ivanova does seem to lean forward a little bit, doesn't she? She's got that tight guard, but
I mean,
she can slam that uppercut in it, bring her hands forward a little bit to maybe then go down to the body or round the side of the head with the hook. Short rounds these, so you've got to make sure you do your work and make it count, haven't you, Max?
yes, definitely. And you know, but you know, her opponent, you know, Sasha's always going to beat her by straight shots. When you're getting hooked all the time, a straight shot fighter is always going to, you know, win. But yeah, like you just said, I'd like to see an uppercut, a bit of variations, 3s and 4s to mix it up. But you know, I think she's doing enough now, Sasha.
We saw there in that little sequence, just pouring that jab instead of sticking it right down the pipe and giving Ivanova something to think about. On that occasion there, actually invited Ivanova in.
Exactly.
I would like to see her use that jab rather than as just a reach finder, to actually be sticking it in the face of Ivanova.
I just feel if you're going to use it effectively and make sure it's meaningful, and especially if it's not tight. Otherwise, just keep it by your chin. You know, sometimes people leave it loose, and that's when you do get caught. But you'll find against a taller fighter, Sasha might get caught a little bit more and find maybe even someone with similar reach. A little bit sharper now by Sasha.
Yeah, and this is what her coaches will be looking for. If she can execute the instructions they've given to her, if she can just make those incremental improvements with each round at this stage in her first professional outing. And that's much better with that jab, sticking it right into the face of Ivanova. That's much better from Sasha Booker. Gone back to pouring it now though, and that's exactly what she can do so well. Use those long levers, Max, but then step away, circle round, and leaves Ivanova in no man's land, unable to reply.
Yeah, that's what she wasn't doing in the previous round, or you know, the second round or third round. She's just, you know, stood there. But now she's pivoting off, which is nice to see.
It's a good combination, but she's got to stay switched on when she comes away.
Yeah. Again, she moved again. So I like this. The footwork's
that was
there.
better on that occasion, because she shipped a flailing lead hand from Ivanova in the last exchange. But on that one, just took that extra step. It was too much of a distance for Ivanova to close. She can keep it simple and look really good doing the basics here, Max, can Sasha Booker. Of course, in the white and gold shorts, the woman from Nottingham, making a pro debut. Ivanova, Bulgaria in black.
Oh,
big overhand right there from Ivanova.
Just missed a tiny bit there.
Felt that one, Booker, but luckily
wasn't flush enough.
Had her hands up and had her feet beneath her, so was able to absorb it. And some variety in that jab is okay, Max, isn't it? If sometimes you're pouring it and sometimes you're really landing a stiff jab, but I'd like to see
a bit of variation
more often, using that jab as a weapon.
Yes, I think there's the jabs is underrated, as you know, Stacey, yourself. The jab needs to be a bit more effective. You know, what sort of jabs are there? Is it a slam jab? Is it, you know, is it a touch jab? You know, it's about a game of chess, a violent game of chess with a jab. So, you know, let's use it. And you know, as we can see now, that overhand right just clipping Sasha. But you know, you'll find you know, coming into this round. Sasha started off well, and I hope she'll do the same again. She got caught two overhand rights, so she's got to be mindful that she doesn't get caught with many more of them, because I see it sort of ricocheted on her, but she's dealing with it. Snap you that jab, come on.
Here we go then, 6th and final round on the professional debut of Sasha Booker in front of a home crowd here in the Rushcliffe Arena in Nottingham. She had a dream start, dropping Ivanova twice in the opening round.
Good exchange.
And that's much better from her there. Using her feet to get out of the way once she'd landed her shots, and that is much, much better. And as we said, she's going to have to learn on the job, having only had 8 contests as an amateur, and you can see the improvement she's made from one round to the next match is a really good sign.
Yes, definitely. And we've just seen then where she just moved off, pivoted off. You know, she didn't get busy in the exchange. You know, done her punches and moved off, and it's good to see. And that's what we want to see, a continuous form of. It's all about form.
Final minute then of round 6. Really good performance this from Sasha Booker on her debut. She's dealing with all those nerves, all that pressure, all that expectation.
Let's see.
Good shots here from Ivanova though. She does have to stay switched on defensively, Sasha Booker, but once you've got your licence and all that training and then selling the tickets, it's a lot, and it's very different to the preparation for amateur bouts, but she's handled all that and handled it well and put on a great performance here.
I just feel, Stacey, sometimes when she comes out of these exchanges, Sasha, she just exits like unsafe. You know, enter safe, exit safe as well.
Final 10 seconds then. These exchanges have been frantic at times between the two. They've not been afraid to let the hands go, and it's made for an entertaining 6 rounds. Ivanova raises her hands in the air, presumably because her work is done.
Yeah.
I don't think in expectation that she's going to get a hand raised at the end by the referee, but she put a good shift in there, Ivanova. She made it competitive. She asked questions of Sasha Booker, but she had the answers, and all in all, a really good professional debut, particularly that opening round. What a dream start, dropping her opponent twice with solid backhands. Plenty to build on here for Sasha Booker. 33 years old, from Nottingham, wants to fight for belts, aspires to be a world champion. All of that alongside running her own dog walking business, so she's a busy woman, but if you really want it, you'll put in the graft that's required, and it looks like she's prepared to do that. And once you've had your hand raised, you just want more of it, and this is just going to make her want it even more. Let's get the official announcement from our MC, Jonathan Millard.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please show your appreciation for both fighters in the ring. And after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee's scorecard. Our referee, Ryan Churchill, scores the contest 57-56 for your winner, Sasha.
Well, I can tell you, when they said 57-56 then, there was a collective intake of breath in the Rushcliffe Arena here, wasn't there, Max? Because I think everybody for just one moment thought, surely not.
I mean, I'm not being funny, Stace. I was going to say some of these judges have got a cataract in their eye. I shouldn't say that, but that, yeah. I'm sorry, but that's... No, did Sasha drop her twice? Was it 2 counts?
Dropped her twice in the first round, but she had some good rounds even over. I think it's fair that she did deserve
a round
some
or
of
two.
them, and obviously the referee deciding 57-56 ultimately, but you know, overall a really good professional debut for Sasha Booker, because it wasn't a walk in the park, it wasn't easy, she couldn't go through the motions. Ivanova came here to ask questions of her, she put her under pressure and she had to find a way through, and that will stand her in much better stead than had she had a really easy first professional contest. So as difficult as it might have been in moments there, that will do her the world of good, and a really good professional debut for Sasha Booker. And that feeling, that euphoria of having your hand raised, as I say, just makes you hungry for more, and she laps up the applause now. I mean, high-fiving the crowd as she makes her way back to the changing room. And a victorious Sasha Booker, and regardless of the score, a good performance, great experience under her belt, and she will want nothing more than to be right back in the ring doing that all over again.
Just one thing, Stace, just before we move on. If you had Sasha as a fighter, what would you work with her? Knowing what you know, what would you do?
There's plenty to work on, but that's not for me to say right now, because we're going to move on now to our fourth contest of the evening. Jack Dillingham against Engel Gomez. Jack 4-0. We've seen him before on FightZone. Crowd-pleasing style. He's in with a tricky Nicaraguan. Lives in Slovakia now, as it happens, but seen him also numerous occasions. There's a good chance you'll have seen him on the circuit, because he's very, very active. Had 19 fights already this year, so this should be a good test for Jack at this stage in his fifth bout as a professional. Let's get our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the action continues. So now, welcome into the arena to the blue corner, Gomez.
So here comes Engel Gomez, 8-41-0. So very experienced as he makes his way to the ring as a professional for the 50th time. 24 years old, Nicaraguan born, but as I said before, lives in Slovakia. Been a pro for 6 years. And interesting, he was unbeaten in his first 9. Had 1 draw and 8 wins. Since then, all losses, with the exception of 2 draws. He's had 19 fights already this year. Got stopped in August, but otherwise all losses on points. Very active, Engel Gomez.
And here's the opponent, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, now welcome into the ring to the red corner, Jack Dillingham.
Jack Dillingham then, 4-0, the 22-year-old from Derbyshire. Made his debut right here last September against Lisa Casada. So the points-winning march against Jack England. Another in April against Jairo Fernando Duran, that was a 6-rounder. And a 6-rounder with the tough Brian Marina as well in October.
I think we commentated
Says
on
that from his 4 wins he's learned to take his time and not rush his work.
It's
Important for him to get a win at the end of this year to cap off a good year in his progression. Jack Dillingham and Engel Gomez.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, on the next bout of the evening, Scott Taylor Boxing Promotions proudly presents 6 rounds of action in the super featherweight division. That's streamed live exclusively on FightZone. This bout has been sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Their supervisor here at ringside, Mr. Warren Churchill. Our timekeeper at the bell for this bout, Mr. Martin Fallon, and our referee in charge of action and scoring now, Mr. Chris Jones. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, introducing to you first, boxing out of the blue corner, his official weight on the scales, 9 stone, 11 pounds 6 ounces, an experienced international boxer, tonight wearing the white and gold shorts from Nicaragua, presenting Engel Gomez.
reception then inside the Rushcliffe Arena here in Nottingham for Jack Dillingham. Just 22 years old from Derbyshire, so plenty of time to develop him. He's got great support at ringside on their feet, raising their arms, offering great encouragement to the youngster. And he knows that, he said it in fact, that he'd love to get a win at the end of the year to cap off a really good year. I've seen him before on FightZone, and he's a good technical boxer. But Angel Gomez, really experienced. He's got some snap in his shots as well. Very robust away fighter. Oh, a huge shot though.
Very nice.
Drops him to the canvas, and you don't see that very often with Angel Gomez. Takes his time, makes sure he's steady on his feet. Dillingham now up on his toes. Got to stay composed here. Drops him again though with that backhand. Gomez just touching the back of his head. The referee just having a close eye on him. Gonna have to be mindful defensively, Gomez, but he does tend to leave himself open. And Dillingham exploiting that, of course, finding those gaps, dropping him twice with that backhand. What a start for the man from Derbyshire. Uppercut with the backhand, drills that in. He took that well, Gomez. Still standing and trading, the man from Nicaragua. It's a risky tactic from him.
He's really
Dillingham
class.
firing those shots with that backhand straight down the centre.
You see, I mean, with this Dillingham, he's meaningful with his shots. Every shot's meaningful. Good to watch. Pivot off, duck. There's always movement after the shot.
Throws those wide shots, does Gomez, which does leave him open to those shots right down the pipe. Bullet-like shots, straight as an arrow from Dillingham. Really effective. Dropped him twice in this opening round. What a start. This one's scheduled for 6 threes. And I think we're in for an absolute barnstormer here, because Gomez willing to trade and go toe to toe. Dillingham pushing him back up against the ropes. Gomez just managing to tie him up and ride the storm. Fires back now. Dillingham got to stay astute, of course, because Gomez loading up with these shots. Just dipping his head low.
There's a bit of class by Dillingham. He's got a bit of, I don't know. I do like him. He looks so much better.
Technically very sound, and he's doing the basics really well. Straight shots, timing them well.
Oh, lovely uppercut. Beautiful.
Really whips his torso round and gets his full body behind them. Certainly worked well for him so far. What a start for the man from Derbyshire. Scheduled for 6 threes, but got to say, you may not hear the final bell for this one, Max, because that was blistering explosive action, as we're going to see here on the replay.
I'd say, right, Dillingham, I remember...
There was that backhand, and you can see, because he's throwing those looping shots, Gomez takes so much time to get there that before it's got anywhere close to landing, Dillingham has come right down the middle and chinned him.
Yeah.
What a shot.
Dillingham's got a class act about him. I remember watching him against, was it Brian Marino in October, and even then it was class then, but he looks so much better. The improvements he's made, he seems that much snappier, that much meaningful. So, I mean, Dillingham's got a bright future, and I remember then he was exciting. Take centre of the ring again.
Dillingham in the white shorts and the blue waistband. Gomez in the white and gold. Dillingham's dropped his man twice in that opening round, and he continues in the same vein. Sharp, spiteful shots. Doesn't allow himself to get caught on the ropes either. As soon as those ropes brushed his back, then he was away, Dillingham, and taking a couple of shots from Gomez here, but fires back with 3 in response. Working down to the body now as well. This is good work from Dillingham. Nice to see him varying the shots as well, bringing up the uppercut.
He's using his size as well.
It's a good shot, that uppercut as well, because Gomez tends to come in very low, crouching down almost at waist height for Dillingham.
Well, I do like with Dillingham, he's protecting his chin with that right all the time. All the time with that right. So alright keeping that left hand low, but if you're effective with it, and he is very effective with that. You know, it's forcing him back, meaningful shots. Variations there. Downstairs. He's using his size now, Dillingham.
He's tucking up better in this round, Gomez, and he needed to.
Yeah, because he was going to get caught again, I think.
He's not taking as many risks either, because those wild swings early in the first round took the toll.
He didn't like that shot, did he?
He takes a knee here, and I think that was due to that body shot that was sunk into his left-hand side from Dillingham. And the referee deems that there's no need to continue.
Class by
Taking
Dillingham.
quite a lot of punishment there, Gomez. Dropped twice in the first, took a knee in the second, and that was an indication that he was struggling there, and such was that heavy firepower coming in from Jack Dillingham. Great performance from him, really impressive stuff. Just 22 years old, so lots and lots of time to develop this young man, and what a performance yet again, to the delight of the fans here in the Rushcliffe Arena.
I feel
there it was, that was that lead hand to the body, right into the midriff, the solar plexus of Gomez. And what can sometimes happen is you don't feel those shots immediately. It's when you try and take a breath in, that's when you realise that they've really taken the wind out of you. And that's what happened with Gomez there. It was a second delay, and then he really felt it. And good decision from the referee there, because no need for Gomez to take more punishment. This being his 20th contest of the year, so a good decision from the ref. Everyone healthy at the conclusion of this one. As Dillingham raises his hand, let's hear the official announcement from Jonathan Millard.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, at a time of 1 minute, 45 seconds of the second round, our referee stops the contest. Your winner by team, KO, Jack Dillingham.
Well, that's the beauty of these small hall shows tonight. This one, Scott Kalo Boxing Promotions. This is what you get on FightZone TV. Sometimes title fights with boxers who are at the latter part of the career, everything on the line for them to achieve their dreams, and often you get the young prospects coming through and you get to follow their career from the very beginning and see their development. And I think here we've seen in this young man a real hot prospect on FightZone TV, because every time we've seen him we've been impressed, but tonight extra special.
Just really class act.
Really good performance, and it was that aggression, that tenacity, and of course really good performance, and a delighted Jack Dillingham passes us, and he's every right to be delighted, because that was a blistering performance. And we know that he's not in against the top opposition, he's not necessarily here to win, but Engel Gomez,
he's no mug. He's no mug.
You know, we've seen him cause all sorts of problems to opponents. He's been in there and done the rounds and gone the distance with many fighters, and there we saw him in trouble right from the off.
Yes,
so that says a lot about Dillingham at this stage, just his 5th professional contest. What impressed you about him in particular there?
You know what? It's the variations, but it's not that. When you know, Gomez was tucking up, he started to use his size, Dillingham. So you know, from a raw fighter, it's good to see that. You know, closing that gap, using his size. You know, in those later rounds. You know, and it's a variation. It's really impressive. He's got a bright future. I can see him winning a title. He really can.
Well, you can see these prospects from the very embryonic stage of their careers all the way through to challenging for titles on FightZone TV, and perhaps we've seen a potential future title challenger there in Jack Dillingham. Next up, we've got Ryan Amos, more experienced. He's had 15 contests. He's up against Jose Aguirre of Costa Rica. And he's had less contests than Amos. 35-year-old. Boxed just last weekend against Ben Fales, who's been in with decent opposition. Let's get our official introductions from your MC this evening, Jonathan Millard.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, our action continues. So now, please welcome into the arena to the blue corner, Jose Aguirre.
Well, he's making his way to the ring, but doesn't appear to be any music, whether that's his choice or whether the speakers have been switched off, who knows, but he's on his way to the ring nonetheless. 2-7-0, the Costa Rican, 35 years old. This is 5th contest of the year. Made his debut in 2021, just had the one fight in 2022, and then 3 last year, all points losses, so just 9 under his belt. Jose Aguirre.
And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, now welcome into the arena to the red corner, the Punisher, Ryan Amos.
Well, this time we have the music but no boxer for a few minutes. Last time it was the other way around, but finally we have both, gratefully. Ryan Amos and some ring walk music. The Punisher, 13-2-0, 2 stoppages of his 13 wins. 34 years old, the man from Clifton in Nottingham. Last time out, got a points win in a 10-rounder against Bilal Fawaz at York Hall. His only other loss last year came against Junaid Bostan, who of course has been doing great things in the pro ranks. Great expectations on him. That was at Sheffield Arena. So 3 outings this year. Bilal Fawaz, Jordan Granham and Jack Flatley.
Good opposition, Jack Flatley. You know what I mean?
Let's get our official introductions now from MC Jonathan Millard. Both fighters in the ring, ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Kyle Davies proudly presents 4 rounds of action in the middleweight division. Streamlining exclusively on FightZone. This bout is being sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control and is supervised here at ringside Mr. Warren Churchill. Our timekeeper, the panel for this bout, Mr. Martin Fallon, and our referee, Sean Jackson, and third man in the ring, storming about, Mr. Ryan Churchill. To you first, boxing out of the blue one. His official weight on this is 11 stone 8 pounds 12 ounces. He enters the ringside with a professional record, 2 victories, 7 defeats. Wearing the black shorts from Costa Rica, please welcome Jose Aguirre. His opponent tonight, standing across the ring and boxing out of the red corner. His official weight on this is 11 stone 9 pounds 4 ounces. Tonight he enters the ring with a professional record, 13 victories, 2 defeats and 2 draws. his final instructions.
So a very popular fella around these parts, Midlands area champion formally, as Jonathan Millard just announced. Ryan Amos, the Punisher. He's in an interesting choice of kit. He had fur on his gilet as he entered, and different type of material than we used to seeing in the gladiatorial style, which is good to see. But that unique individuality. He's in against Jose Aguirre, who is in the black shorts. Good solid start from Ryan Amos. I like his style. He's a real sort of throwback type of style, isn't he? And I mean that in a complimentary manner, Max.
Yeah, he comes in with meaningful shots. Straight away tearing into his opponent. You know.
Switch hitter as well. Comfortable working out of the southpaw stance. Just saw him switch temporarily before that last exchange.
Some nice body shots there.
Aguirre out just last weekend against Ben Fale. 5th fight of the year. He's had 9, Amos has had 15, so it could be a competitive contest, this one. Amos loading up with that lead hand to finish the exchange, and Aguirre just getting a chance to work away, but looks quite clear that Amos possesses the more dominant power. Trying to find a way through Aguirre, working that uppercut and then to the body, but nothing to trouble Amos. It's a case of you go, I go at the moment, this, Max.
Yeah, it's about who can hit harder inside at the minute.
Certainly don't need the entire ring, do they? Happy to work up at close quarters, and that suits their build, doesn't it? Both of them.
Yeah, I just feel, should we get a telephone box or a corner ring and put them in it?
Nice uppercut on the inside there from Amos, just finding its way through. It's just working to set up those openings. Just like to see him change those angles, perhaps, Max, where he can drop to the body and then maybe pivot round and create a different opening.
He sort of was doing that at the start, and he's sort of, you know, he's staying on his same line right now. So I'd like to see a little bit more work down below and bring it back up again.
And also that when he's finished his work, not to stay there and allow Aguirre to respond.
Exactly.
But just to step off like that, but then take another step. He's allowing Aguirre to work, isn't he?
Yeah, do not stay on that same line, and that's what he's doing. And there's less head movement now. Feels like this is going to start to be a shootout.
I think there's probably fewer jabs been thrown in this opening round than in any contest we'll see throughout the evening, because these two happy just to trade hooks. Battle of the hooks here, isn't it? But Amos undoubtedly having the better of it.
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. I just felt he's switched it off a little bit towards the end. Like we're seeing, the good work now by Amos, but then, you know, Aguirre, he comes back. And we're seeing now, you know, the work by a pair of them. But they're both tucking up, you know. It's about when one goes, the other one goes, you know. So I just want to see Amos just come off that line, dip his head a little bit more, then come back up.
Fights out of the Bad Boys gym in Nottingham. Been given clear instructions there in the corner. Use the jab more.
Yeah,
is the call ringing in his ears there. That was the last thing
straight right hand coming
that
out.
he shouted from the corner. And they're also talking to him about combining the uppercut and then whipping that hook into the body as well. But use your jab more was the last shout from the corner. Let's see if he can bring that in more. He certainly started to use it more. The fact that he's thrown 3 in the opening seconds was more than the entire first round, I'd say, Max.
Yeah. I just want to see Amos be a little bit busier. Maybe come away and just start fighting that mid-range sort of area.
That's
like
better from him. That's lovely work, and it looks so impressive.
Yes.
Easy on the eye. Is that nice clean work?
It's more clinical.
Sharp shots on the inside, but then to take that step away as well and not allow Aguirre to reply is really impressive stuff from Amos. Much better work from him. Better work behind that jab.
It's
a stiff jab as well, isn't it? It's meaningful, it's spiteful. It stops Aguirre in his tracks.
Yeah.
And it's setting up the combinations for Amos as well. Good work from him, the man from Nottingham.
He's got some spiteful shots, Amos. Really nice to see. And he's happy.
When Amos doesn't wait there to allow Aguirre to reply, he's struggling to land anything on him whatsoever.
Yeah.
Much better round this for Amos as he wobbles Aguirre. His feet betrayed him there, his left leg
it's beginning of the end, I
all
think.
over the place, and he seems to have gathered himself a little bit now. He's choosing to fight fire with fire, but Amos digging in those shots round the side of the gloves. This one's scheduled for 4 threes. Aguirre now having to hang on a little bit, absorbing some real pressure from Amos.
Just tucking up Aguirre.
Would just like to see him still though up close there. Just take that little pivot and change the angle.
Even take that half a yard back.
Aguirre trying to fire back, but this has been a really good round from Amos. And better than the first round, as good as that was. Just keeping that range and distance.
Nice double body shot there.
Has looked much better for Amos in this second round. And that's allowing him the space to get these really meaningful shots through. And there's some real spite in those, Max, as well. They're hurting Aguirre.
I feel Amos, even when his opponent's got his gloves up, he just takes the gloves and his head the whole with it every time he does a hook. Power in them.
Much superior technical boxer, Amos, and he's displaying that now as Aguirre just beckoning him forward.
Good round by Amos.
Much better round that from Amos. The use of the jab, the range and the distance, that much better, and it just allowed him that little bit of extra space with which to land those shots in a much more threatening fashion. Good work from Amos in that second round.
Yes. I want to see what Amos can do. Just a few more jabs in there. He's got a good jab. What we saw of it was a good spiteful jab. So I want to see him utilise that little bit more, if I'm honest. Not only that, when he takes that half a yard back as well, he looks that much better, that much spiteful, and a bit more dangerous. And he can't touch him. So hopefully we can see a little bit more of that. We saw glimpses. See that in this round, please. Nice round. Nice start by Amos.
I like the way he puts those combinations together as well, Max, because decent hand speed, but also real power in those shots as well, and tenacity. And this is good work again in these opening seconds of the third from Amos. Driving in that uppercut, really putting his whole body behind that.
Very spiteful, isn't he, Amos? It's like, everything with power. It's like, it feels like he's hitting him with a brick.
Got a really strong build, hasn't he? And that allows him, along with the good technique, to get real whip on these shots. Turns his hips right into them.
So almost when he's using these hooks, he's trying to take the gloves down. It's quite clever. Just watch when Amos does it. Takes his gloves with it, set up for the next shot. Nice uppercut.
Aguirre doing what he can to make this competitive, and when he gets the opportunity, letting his hands go against Amos, but a bit wise not to take too many risks, because Seen him wobbled in that second round. It's lovely, that backhand, that straight backhand, when Amos sets it up off that lead hook, because the momentum that he gets from shifting his body weight for that hook really allows him to whip that backhand in. Really enjoyable to watch, and much better use of that jab that we saw again there as he doubled up with it.
Just want to see him use that jab more. There we go, yes.
Corner telling Amos you don't need to be there in front of him. I have to concur with that. I just don't think he respects the power of Aguirre, Max, so he's not too concerned about being in front of him, but it's when he steps back like this that he's really able to land those hurtful shots on Aguirre.
I just feel he's just he doesn't respect Aguirre's power, and that's why he's happy to stay on that line, invite him in. And so, you know, why not? If you can take his power, why not?
And he knows he's doing enough clean and impressive work in between to take these rounds, more than enough in fact. They're a good opponent actually for Amos to really show what's in his arsenal. He can impress against this style, can't he? And been good to watch this.
Yeah, I just like to see
toe-to-toe action here as we
more
see
jabs,
out the end of the third round. Had a bit of amateur experience, Central England title did Amos. Had a go at Taekwondo as well, winning a gold medal in that in the Netherlands. Got into boxing by chance as it happens, and I know he says his big inspiration for his children and his family. He's actually set up a charity, the Ryan Amos Foundation, to help the next generation of young talent in sport, music and business, and it's great to see him using his platform to inspire and help others, Max. That's a great thing that sport can lend itself to.
No, we've seen in the past by other well-known boxers to other, from celebrities even to footballers. They use platforms like that, and it's good that Ryan Amos does that. So we need to see more of that. Really, people helping each other.
It's been a really enjoyable contest to watch this for the first three rounds. Last round here is Aguirre. You can tell he likes a scrap and a dust up, because he's just beckoning Amos forward.
I just feel Amos is not bothered about moving off that line, just really invite his power. I just feel Amos feels he can't be affected by Aguirre here, so why not?
Wobbled in there though, he didn't quite have his feet beneath him, Aguirre. He just happened to ship a big backhand at the same time.
Feel Amos with that little bit more pressure and harsher pressure, he could make a stoppage here.
Continuing to come forward though, Aguirre, so he's making Amos having to work here. Catches him with the uppercut.
That's it.
A swift reply with that combination. Lead hand and backhand uppercut from Amos. Used that uppercut really well, hasn't he? And that little step back when he fires that 1-2 looks really clean and tidy from Amos.
It's when
been really effective for him, that, as when he's created the space to let it go.
It's not giving him a chance to reply when he makes that step back, and it's good to see. We need to see more of that between the rounds.
So eye-catching, isn't it?
Yes. Maybe a pivot off to the side a little bit more.
He's enjoying this brawl, isn't he, Amos? You can tell some fighters, that's their personality, isn't it? It's not the hit and not get hit sweet science necessarily. They love a brawl, they love a battle. That's what gets them up in the morning, that's what gets their adrenaline pumping, and we can see with Amos here happy to engage, as is Aguirre, and the referee will have to separate them now because
we just had a power
somebody
cut.
needs to put 50p in the meter, and I think we've had everything thrown at us tonight that we possibly could. Technical issues at ringside, all sorts of things, and now no lights. Although it does make it very atmospheric, and this would be pretty interesting to watch boxing with absolutely no house lights on, wouldn't it, Max?
Yes, I think stage from the word go, everything that has gone wrong has possibly gone wrong. So, people
people at ringside here, you may be able to see it on your screens, using the flashlights on their phones.
On their cameras, yeah.
Good that everybody's got a sense of humour about it, but of course, importantly, less than a minute remaining, but there is still time to go in this, so both of these boxers, although everyone else can see perhaps the funny side of things, they must stay focused, must stay switched on and warm, because they've still got a job to do in a moment when the lighting is restored. It does look really atmospheric though, Max, doesn't it?
It's
like the old days when they used to have the boxing booths in the underground.
Yes.
Underground units, and you just grab any old gum shield out of the bucket and jump in. My granddad boxed in the boxing booths, and that's what they used to do. They just used to get any gum shield in the bucket. Somebody would call them out in the audience. It didn't matter if they're 3 stone heavy, you got in and you had a dust up, and that was the old days. Thankfully, not the case now, and the lights are restored, and we're back underway, and it's back in the same vein as Amos, straight back on it, taking no time in setting about Aguirre, but he doesn't have to go looking for him. He's right on his chest, marauding forward. Aguirre still beckoning Amos on, and lovely sharp work from the man from Nottingham. Been really enjoyable to watch this one. 30 seconds remaining, and hopefully we'll hear the final bell with lights. Good work from Amos, just tying him up now. Let's see what he can show us at the closing stages of this.
It's when Amos sort of does that hook, it's like a club, isn't it?
Yeah, thudding, pummeling shots these. But Aguirre seems to have really enjoyed this battle, and he's made it competitive, made it entertaining. But Amos, it's been really enjoyable to watch. His combinations, and as I say, that twist he gets on his torso when he puts those combinations together has been great to watch, and a really good performance from Ryan Amos. 13-2-0, so this his 15th in the ring. We've just seen some of the action there. Really used that uppercut well, didn't he, Amos? Both hands as well, right through the gap of the gloves there, and when he couldn't, and that was the interesting thing, that of course he was going around the side of the head, which is making him bring his gloves round to the side of his head to protect that area, and then he was just slamming that uppercut right through the middle. So he was creating the gaps, because Aguirre wasn't offering many gaps, but he created them and then slammed those shots in. Good performance from Amos. Let's get the official announcement from Jonathan Millard. Just waiting for the MC's microphone to work, so another issue, but in just a second, when the microphone hopefully comes on, we'll be able to get the official announcement. Both boxers just waiting patiently. We really have had everything thrown at us this evening, and mic back on, we're ready to go.
40-36 for your winner. From Clifton, Nottingham, the Punisher, Ryan Amos.
40-36 then, and no surprise there. Superior in every department, Ryan Amos. Really, really good display. And as I say, set up the Ryan Amos Foundation, so he wants to make sure that his legacy is about inspiring the next generation, giving them opportunities, and that's lovely to see. That's why he's a really popular figure. Just taking the applause from the people at ringside here to support him. A good win for Ryan Amos, which takes him to 14-2-0 for the Punisher. Next up, Joe Hughes and Ramiro Garcia Lopez. Joe also hailing from Nottingham, so a home favourite here. I'm sure he'll get a great welcome from this crowd here in the Rushcliffe Arena. Scott Kalo boxing promotions here on FightZone TV. Next generation of prospects coming through here as they build their careers. It's great to see the support for all of the boxers on this card this evening. Coming up, got Harvey Sturton, Spencer Binks and Kyle Davies. 4 contests remaining in professional boxing. We're ready to get underway with bout number 6 of the evening with our MC Jonathan Millard.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, our action continues. So now, please welcome into the arena to the blue corner, Ramiro Garcia Lopez.
Years old, the Mexican from Guadalajara, 7 years a pro. He's 8-15-0. He had 7 wins by stoppage though, as those 8 wins. Only had 2 bouts last year. He's really kicked on this year. 11 fights since April, 8 losses on points. His 3 wins all come by way of TKO. Ronnie Mullock, Mohamed Saban, Mohamed Gaz on the receiving end of those, and he's out again in December in Sheffield, so keeping himself busy this year.
And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, now welcome into the arena to the red corner, Joe Hughes.
Well, we'll wait our first sighting of Joe Underwood Hughes. He'll get a great reception in here. He's from Nottingham, the 28-year-old, 8-4-0. Won 1 by stoppage, and he's been stopped once as well. Made his debut in 2019 against Russ Midgley. Only had the 1 fight in 2020, which of course was the case for many boxers due to COVID. 1 fight last year, lost that by stoppage in the first round. He's had 2 fights this year, 2 points losses. 1 coming in March against Albano Jr., 1 in September against Cameron Buong, of course a hot prospect, that one at Wembley Arena. So he's had some really good experience in terms of fighting on big occasions and against some big names too.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, our next bout of the evening. Scott Kalo Boxing Promotions proudly presents 6 rounds of action in the super lightweight division. Streamed live and exclusively on FightZone. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Their supervisor here at ringside, Mr. Warren Churchill. Our timekeeper of the battle for this bout, Mr. Martin Fallon, and our referee in charge of the action, scoring the bout, Mr. Chris Jones. So introducing to you first, boxing out of the blue corner. His official weight on the scales, 10 stone, 4 pounds, 12 ounces. He enters the ring tonight with a record 8 victories, 15 defeats, and no draws. Wearing the black shorts with gold from Mexico, please welcome Ramiro Garcia Lopez. His opponent tonight standing across the ring, boxing out of the red corner. His official weight on the scales, 10 stone, 3 pounds, 12 ounces. Tonight, he enters the ring with a professional record, 8 victories, 1 coming within the distance, and 4 he wears the white and red shorts from Beeston, Nottingham, presenting Showdown. Our referee, Mr. Fitzgerald, to give his final instructions.
Bout number 6 of 9 this evening then. Lopez, Guadalajara, Mexico, in the black shorts, and Joe Underwood Hughes right here in Nottingham in the white shorts. And we've benefited greatly from boxing on a big platform at Wembley Arena against Cameron Vuong, who is a real hot prospect. Lost that one on points. And they gained a great deal from those 8 rounds. Let's see what we can bring to the table here. Lopez. Only had 23 as a pro, but been a professional for 7 years, so we've got all that experience of sparring work and in the gym for all that time. So very, very different this one, of course, Max, isn't it, to the previous contest? And that's what's interesting about the sport of boxing. Completely different styles and completely different types of fights that you might get. And this one, of course, really different, being boxed at mid to long range, nothing at close quarters. We didn't barely get a jab in the first round of the previous contest, and
no, you didn't.
Totally different this.
Yeah, it's more of a last fight was like last bout was more of a telephone box sort of job. So, but now we're seeing, ranges, jabs, using the whole of the ring compared to just a snippet of the ring. It just shows, doesn't it? Now I think it comes down to variations of styles, personalities, and you never know what you're going to get on these small hall shows.
Touch of gloves from Hughes as he acknowledges that one may have been a little bit low. Good work there, dropping down to the body with the lead hand and then over top with the backhand, just catching Lopez. Nothing of significance so far, but just a feeling out round, you feel here. That may well be because, of course, you've got to remember Hughes, who's just turned to the southpaw stance now, so he's coming off the back of 2 losses, so perhaps important for him just to get a solid, settled, composed and controlled round under his belt, Max.
Yes, and it's quite interesting switching from southpaw to orthodox, so it's quite interesting that, but he's using the space and closing the gap quite well, and we've just seen then a good tidy 1-2 to the head, but he's closing that gap, and it's nice to see. It's a nice work again just there.
It was lovely work, and that came from that variety lead uppercut and then following through with that backhand, and good to see Hughes mixing it up a little bit there, as he did earlier with dropping the lead hook to the body and coming over the top with the backhand. And that could be the key here for him to creating and finding openings, just mixing up those shots and not making it predictable for Lopez, because he's sound defensively, so he's going to take those basic shots on the gloves without too much trouble. So I think that variety is going to be key.
Yes, I think what we just saw then, but every time he does the variety, he finds a way in, cuts off the ring really well. It's just be interesting to see if he's got that little bit more spite in him. That was just a feel out round. It'd be interesting to see what comes into the next one.
They've had that so-called feeling out round, if we may describe it as such. Let's see now who's going to try and impose themselves. Hughes just pushing Lopez back. He's on the front foot. See if he can capitalise on that. And Lopez almost walked himself back into the corner then, didn't he? Yeah. Took a step to the left and then step to the right, back in the corner, finds himself in the corner again.
What I like about this Joe Hughes, he cuts off the ring quite ever so nicely, and uses his angles very, very well. And I like that tidy work then.
This has been better from him here, and as I say, I really think the key is to mix his shots up.
Yes.
Mix up upstairs, downstairs in different types of shots, putting those combinations together. I think that's the key to unlocking the openings against Lopez. Nice sharp jab there as well, caught Lopez with. He's got a good jab, Hughes, hasn't he?
Yes, it's
and he
variation.
does mix it up, sometimes pouring it and sometimes nice and snappy.
But it's not pouring it and being predictable. You pour it, then he'll make it meaningful. So that's the key with the jab. And as long as it's meaningful and it's mixed up.
Chance of Hughesy ringing out across the Rushcliffe Arena. All had brilliant support this evening, all the boxers, as you'd expect. Great to see people getting behind their local fighters. Good work with that double jab from Hughes. Bob and wave his way through and roll those shots as they were asking him to do in the corner at the end of the first round. Southpaw stance now.
That's what I like about Hughes. He's a little bit unpredictable what he does. You don't know what you're going to get with him. They see nice tidy inside work up close, like just now.
Good work, those little chopping backhands on the inside there at close range. It's been a better round for Hughes this. I feel he's been more dominant, Max.
It's stylish as well.
Technically sound, isn't he? And you could tell that in the first round, but there he just stepped up the gears a little bit more intensity. Found his way through with some more meaningful shots, as we can see here in the replay.
Yeah, in this replay he's just tagging him a little bit, and it's just chopping down the body and going back upstairs. It's nice tidy work by Hughes. It's just interesting, he taps away and he hits full shots after. It's variations, and that's the key, being unpredictable.
That jab again, Hughes. He's utilised that effectively, sometimes just pouring it out, sometimes stab to the body, back up to the head. That variety and putting the combinations together has been when he's been at his most effective. A shake of the head from Hughes, to let him know.
I do feel, Stacey, I don't know about you, but it just feels like Hughes is just cruising, and it's just he's not being forced or anything, and he's just happy just to cruise at him.
And the context, of course, is that it is important for him coming off 2 losses to have a solid performance here, get a win under his belt. Not anything too erratic, just box well, do the fundamentals right and get things back on track, and he's doing that so far.
Confidence, it's just confidence. Everything's about confidence, especially if you come off to 2 losses. Your confidence are going to be at a low. But that defines you as a fighter.
Referee's barely had to do anything in this one, has they? They've boxed nice and clean and tidy at range,
Yes.
the pair of them.
I like that pivot off there, brilliant.
Just clipped him on the way in there, Lopez. Won't deter Hughes, as just edging in behind that front foot, that southpaw stance. Backhand finds a home, doubled up on it as well. Good work from Hughes.
See that variation there, I like that. I like that, like jab and a bit of an uppercut straight after, with the same arm.
Closing in here. Final stages of the third round, and decent round there for Hughes. Well, this bout number 6 of a scheduled 9 this evening, of course. Harvey Sturton on the way, Spencer Binks and Kyle Davies. Scott Kalo Boxing Promotions, live on FightZone TV here from the Rushcliffe Arena. It is a great atmosphere in here with this low ceiling, as I've described. It's a huge space in here, and the crowd have really been enjoying this. Having boxing here in Nottingham, getting behind their local fighters. This one's scheduled for 6-3s. It's went to round 4. Hughes of Nottingham in the white shorts, and Lopez, the Mexican, in black. Been a steady, fairly predictable pace throughout this contest, Max.
Yeah, I just feel Hughes is just gathering his confidence. When you come
It's
off.
a good opponent for him to do that, isn't it? Because he's stepped up, Albano Jr. and Cameron Buong stepped up, took the 2 losses.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will have gained a great deal from that, but important for him, as you say, just to re-establish himself, and Lopez a good opponent for that, because he's keeping it competitive, but Hughes able to showcase his capabilities at the same time. Good work doubling up the jab to head and body there from Hughes.
I think Lopez, when he tucks up, it forces Hughes to do variations, and when he is tucked up, upstairs, downstairs, and trying to open out Lopez a little bit. Although there's not so much danger coming back from Lopez, Hughes has to keep switched on in case there is.
Consistent work from Hughes. Not perhaps the explosive exchanges and the battle at times that we had in the previous contest, but he's been consistent and steady. And landing nice lead hook there. closing Lopez down, and good couple of shots fired off there. It's good when he puts those combinations together. He doesn't possess a great deal of full shot power, does he, Hughes? But when he puts the combos together, he finds the openings and lands, and another round under his belt there.
I just felt a little bit, you know, he's just cruising and doing enough and getting by. Maybe it's the fight he needs. And, you know, his trainer Scott's got him, you know, after the back of, you know, 2 losses, you know. So I mean, it's, you know, it's you know, you can't criticise. It's just learning, getting back on the horse. You know, know what Joe can do. You know, and yeah, let's see what these next 2 rounds bring.
So round 5, this one scheduled for 6 threes. Consistent, steady work from Hughes. And perhaps just what he needed, this coming off the back of 2 losses. The likes of Lopez knows how to give fighters the rounds. He's doing enough to make it competitive, but Hughes able to be relatively within his comfort zone here, I think it's fair to say, Max.
I feel Lopez is not going to give Hughes any trouble. You can see that, you know, and if I'm honest, you know, if I was his trainer, I wouldn't want to put him in anyone, you know, too risky, anyone too scaling, because let's be honest, he's had like Cannonball, you know, he's had some 2 tough fights, so. Yeah, it's about rebuilding and getting a confidence build off him, and you know, and that's what we're getting. You know, confidence is low. Let's get him back in on the horse. So can't blame.
28 years old, Hughes, a man from Nottingham, so arguably don't have a great deal of time to rebuild, but he'll potentially be quite happy just with this one to then kick on from there, Max, you would assume.
Yes, I mean. Look.
And having had a taste of that big stage, usually anybody that's had a taste of that wants to experience it again.
Sometimes you've got to come back and step back in order to move forward. Take a couple of steps back and move forward, especially in fights, and you know, and this is the right thing for him.
Off that double jab from Hughes. Just chasing Lopez down is Hughes, and attempt to find a gap to the body for Lopez, but denied by the elbow of Hughes, but he connects with those 2 body shots and then back up to the head. Good work with that sharp jab from Hughes. So 1 round remaining of this one, and it is remarkable just how different styles gel and people express their personalities in the ring, Max. And this morning was in Sheffield at the Institute of Sport for the World Boxing Cup finals, amateurs of course, 3 3-minute rounds, and some of them, particularly at the lower weight categories, so fast and furious, the exchanges up close. you can barely tell who's landed what and where. And then you'd get a different style where it's nip and tuck in and out, and the others who are bullish and aggressive, and you can get completely different types of fights. And that's what we've just had here with these last two. You know, that the two that we've just seen in there, Ryan Amos and Jose Aguirre, willing to stand toe to toe and trade and load up with the shots, and these two expressing their boxing ability in a different way. Mutual respect there as the two embrace briefly before this final round, and this has been fought very differently, as I say, at a slower, steadier pace.
I think
the main thing is for Hughes to get a win under his belt after those two losses, Max.
Yeah, I think, you know, you after 2 losses and like the losses he's had, you don't really want, I mean, depending on the personality of the boxer, but I think it's only right to rebuild and put Hughes not near any danger. So, you know, his trainer's done the right thing. Build up his confidence. Like we can reiterate him, you know, he's got variations. He's got some style about him, you know. So he's just finding himself. As you know, for yourself, you know, it's
he's just timing these jabs now, isn't he? Just tiny little feints to trigger Lopez and then snapping out that jab. Yeah. It's good from Hughes. Working away at close range. Doesn't quite have the intensity and explosiveness of the previous contest, or indeed of Jack Dillingham, of course, that we saw prior to that with a really impressive stoppage. The crowd chanting the name of Hughes, and they've enjoyed the action. They'll be pleased to see their man get the win. Nice combination there, catching Lopez with 3 shots in succession. Lopez, though, slippery defensively, just rolling some of those shots and firing back with shots of his own and leaving themselves open at times in these exchanges. This little bit of increased intensity in this final minute, Max.
Yeah, that's what you want to see, but you know, it's I would like to see, you know, further down the line, Hughes to be a little bit more questioned, a little bit more step up after this. Let's see him maybe more rounds, an 8-rounder, and just see what happens. But yeah, just some spiteful punches by Hughes then, all of a sudden, change of gear.
And so some fighters, they need someone coming at them in order to draw that out of them, and Hughes stepping up a little bit in these latter stages and putting shots together with a bit more spite. And that'll do it. 6th round under his belt then for Joe Hughes, and an important 6 rounds coming back off those 2 losses. I'm sure the man from Nottingham will be happy with his night's work.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please show your appreciation for both boxers here in the ring. And after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to our referee scorecard. Our referee Chris Jones scores the contest 60-54 for your winner, Joe Aguirre. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, our action continues. So now, please welcome into the ring to the blue corner, Jordan Harding. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, now welcome into the red corner, Harvey Sturton.
So another professional debut here. We saw the pro debut of Sasha Booker earlier. She put her opponent down twice in the first round. It's a dream start to her professional career. Harvey Sturton here making his way to the ring. And again, as we mentioned before, really big occasion, of course, making your professional debut. Great support in here. All in black, Harvey Sturton, as he's set to get his professional career underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, on the next bout of the evening, boxing promotion proudly presents 4 rounds of action in the super lightweight division. Stream live and exclusively on FightZone. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Their supervisor here at ringside, Mr. Warren Churchill. Our timekeeper at the bell for this bout, Mr. Martin Fallon, and our referee in charge of the action and scoring the bout, Mr. Ryan Churchill. So introducing to you first, boxing out of the blue corner. Their official weight on the scales tonight, 9 stone, 11 pounds, 4 ounces. Tonight they enter the ring with a record of 3 defeats, wearing the gold and black shorts from Luton, presenting Jordan Harding. His opponent tonight, standing across the ring and boxing out of the red corner. His middle weight on the scales, 9 stone, 13 pounds, 2 ounces. Tonight he makes his professional boxing debut, wearing the black and white shorts from Nottingham, presenting Harvey Sturton. Our referee, Mr. Ryan Churchill, to give his final instructions.
So Jordan Harding then, in the black shorts with the gold. 0-3, the man from Luton. The 8, his boxing alias. Made his debut in October and he's boxed twice this month, having obviously recently turned pro. All points losses. And Sher Khan at York Hall and Will Coveney, Godfrey in York Hall as well, and Keenan Holford at the Barnsley Metrodome. So here he is in Nottingham for the first time, and in with a debutant, Harvey Sturton.
You know, Stacey, spiteful shots.
Sharp shooter, Sturton.
Is that fencing? I like that. With the right hand looping in.
Good shot selection as well. Good work from him in these early stages on his pro debut. Plenty of advice and instructions coming from the crowd. Always interesting as to what people shout at ringside, isn't it?
There's nice slot shots coming in.
Real spite in that backhand from Sturton, and Harding felt that one.
He's forcing him back though. When Harding comes forward, he forces him back with shots.
Good
Catching
work
him
again
there.
from Sturton there. Putting his shots together well. There's been no feeling out round here. He's got straight to work, and that's good to see. This one's scheduled for 4 3-minute rounds. Sturton just feinting with that front foot.
Nice, very nice.
Trying to
Tried it.
create some openings. Harding done a good job defensively so far though, because he's been under a fair bit of firepower here with these shots raining in when he puts them together from Sturton.
Catching him very well there.
Found his way just round the back of the glove there, just round the side of the glove of Harding, and then was able to capitalise on that and caught him, and it really did look like Harding felt those. There's a thudding shots, weren't they, that made their way through his guard there.
I just feel those shot selection, and coming the end of that round he was forcing the pace. But you know, let's see some more of these straight rights come in. I want to see an uppercut. I want to see a little bit more variations. You know, it's the 4s and 3s, but there are a lot of straight shots, especially when we're coming on at the end. It started to hook a little bit, but let's see some more variation in different styles. But what can you expect from a person who's, you know, having his debut? You know, you can only expect it's only a certain amount. But saying that, very spiteful, you know. So let's see how he forces the pace now. We're all about going up in the gears, wouldn't you say, Stace? Feints.
Sturton trying to trigger Harding with those feints, but not have any great deal of interest in responding to those triggers. He'll just seek to tuck up, ride the storms when he has to, and fire back to keep this one competitive, and he's done so in the first round and the opening minute of this one. It's for Sturton to find those gaps, of course, not for Harding to present them. I don't think you can ask more of Sturton at this stage though, Max. He's
Look, he's
done what they've asked of him so far, presumably.
look, it's it. You've got to look at it, Stacey. You know, it's his pro debut. You know, he's very unknown and very raw coming into this. You know, and yeah, he's got these spiteful shots, and he wants to impress. There's a lot of pressure on the young man. So you know, look, it's.
I think he's boxed really well.
Yeah.
But my point is that there's not a great deal more that he could do. I think he's
Exactly.
showing, you know, showcasing his
Yeah, he can do so
array of
much.
shots that he possesses. He's
Yeah.
got a bit of snap in them at times. He's changing the angles, varying his shots. I think this has been a good all-round performance so far from him.
You know, it's look. You know, when you first box, Stace, you know, it's the pressure on you, and you know, look, he's performing, and you know that these coaches tell him what to do. You know, expect him to perform like that, and he's doing the job very well. You can only fight to who's in front of you. Joe Hardy, he's just tucking up. He's not giving much away.
Of course, he's only had 3 fights as a professional himself, Jordan Harding.
Yeah.
Made his debut just in October, so of course he's learning the ropes and what it's all about as the away fighter, and done a really good job of playing his role so far. You're always going to get a really game opponent, of course, when you've got a debutant, because you've got that added adrenaline and they want to put on a performance and make a statement and impress, of course, the first time of asking. So away fighters know that and they're ready for it, but Harding, the man from Luton, just took it up and allowing Sturton to tee off, and that's a good opening 2 rounds under his belt.
Yes. I just want to see in this next round, Sturton just take it up another gear, another notch, because I feel he can get a stoppage here.
Corners, 10 seconds. Second down, round 3.
Couple of big shots making their way through there, so Harding just making sure he tied Sturton up. Not going to take too many of those, of course.
He uses his shots really well, Sturton. Really do like him. Oh, deadly.
Tripling up that hook there.
Yeah.
And Harding barely able to open up really and let his hands go, because can't really risk shipping one of these clean from Sturton, because a bit of spite in these shots.
The referee's hardly done anything in this, this is... So yeah, I like that. Very nice work by Harvey. You see that, he tucked in and came in and just pivoted off and used that range.
Looking out that jab, Sturton, just waiting for Harding to step in, and then backhand lead hook combination, and then moves off. So nice and tidy from him.
But we say this, it's like tidy from Harvey, brilliant work from him. But Jordan, he's not giving much away. He's keeping discipline, arms up, coming forward, not showing much. So it is really hard for Harvey, really, when he's not bringing his arms down or showing anything. It's Harvey's got to figure out how to get him flush. Keeping discipline, Jordan, so you've got to give him props.
And we just heard the clackers there signalling the last 10. And there's the bell. 1 round to go. And what do you make of Harvey Sturton? having had a look at the first 9 minutes of his professional career, so I appreciate not a great deal to go off, but what we've seen has been impressive.
You know what? You see a lot of pro debuts, you know, they're not performing to that magnitude, so, you know, like we've just seen Stacey, you know, going into this, not knowing a lot about Harvey here, you know, he's variation of shots, variations of the hooks, he's using a different shot selection, and that's what you see from, you know, from pro debuts. Not a lot of shot selection, just the basics. He's got up and down, he's got a variation in his arsenal, so it is good to watch. I'd like to see how he progresses. I want to see an next opponent that maybe puts him a little bit, forces his pace a little bit, you know.
Plenty of time to develop Sturton. Fourth and final round, he took an uppercut there from Harding that found its way through that little gap in his guard, so that will have caught his attention. Nice step around there to change the angle, that was good from Sturton. Get a bit more confident, pep in his step. Sometimes fighters need to take one on the chin, don't they, just to
wake him up.
Light that fire. Not that he will have needed it on his debut, but you know what I mean, sometimes they're in the thick of the action, you can go through the motions and get clipped and then turn it on again. Took another shot there, Sturton, from Harding, and fired back, of course, but we want to minimise the shots that he takes, goes without saying.
I feel Harding is just forcing the pace a little bit out of nowhere. I don't know if he just wanted to I don't know, let Sturton punch himself out, I don't know. Yeah, Harding's just suddenly trying to force little bits of shots out of, you know, trying to trigger him. So you see that, you know, right loop and right hand and step back, and Harding was going to, you know, shot. It's it's hard to teach that on a pro debut. So it's giving me an indication, you know, Sturton here is boxed amateurly well, so he's got a bit of experience to him.
Just letting his shots go as he was on the retreat there, Sturton. Backed up into the corner, but firing away into the final minute now of the fourth and final round of what's been a solid professional debut for Sturton. That showed real confidence there, didn't it? Hands low, just
see the pivots. It's good to
the
watch.
backhand and then up with the uppercut as well. Looks like he possesses quite a bit of flair, Sturton, when he allows himself to express that. He's quite a fluid boxer at times, isn't he? And he looks good doing so.
Has to be triggered though, that's the thing. Looks like you have to put it on him in order to get that out of him. But, you know, good performance for a pro debut, I'd say.
Four rounds in the bag then for Harvey Sturton as his professional career gets underway in front of this Nottingham crowd here at the Rushcliffe Arena. Scott Kalo Boxing Promotions live on FightZone TV, where we have two bouts still remaining. Spencer Binks up next, and then Kyle Davies to see out the show this evening. Shaking of the hands between the boxers and their coaching teams. We'll make the way to the centre ring. Our official announcement from Jonathan Millard.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please show your appreciation the scores of the contest, 40-36 for your winner, Harvey Sturton.
All smiles then for Harvey Sturton, his corner, and all of those who've come out tonight to the Rushcliffe Arena to support him. 40-36. And his professional career underway. Kicked off with a win to the delight of his supporters. Spencer Binks up next against Karl Sampson, and then we've got Kyle Davies closing out the show against Oscar Soto Quintana.
Exactly, don't chat to me now, don't at me. I'm a dog, why would you want to cat me? Couple girls along the way try to cat me. Hey girls, working at me, I'm my own boss. Who's gonna sack me? If a man violate JME you, like trust me, you're gonna get beat up badly. Oh so badly, don't at me. Block them up, spot them up like Ali. Hop them and box them up with a packy. I'm on my toes like a acne. And you ain't in no war, you're just gonna go fatty. Writing off on C's, that's me. And I ain't gonna say we're the best, that you know why? I let the facts be. Don't at me, if you're gonna chat shit, don't at me. Pull back a little bit, don't at me. I am not having it, don't at me. You get blocked, just don't at me. With your teeth up, just don't at me. Delete all that shit, don't at me. Have to tell these piss, don't at me. Don't at me. Pull back a little bit, take it back. I can't do much, you need a taxi. And I'm gonna ask me, that is not taxi. And I'm gonna straight to you, I'm taxi. I'll pass because I'm from taxi. Man, who's gonna catch me on the taxi? So I'm gonna ask me, because it's not taxi. But it's not taxi. It's not that though. You better know yourself.
Reminder, more action on FightZone TV, 6th of December, coming live from York Hall. Plenty more boxing on the way. 14th of December as well. So still plenty to look forward to before Christmas. And then a big 2025 for FightZone TV. And the promoters. And some exceptional shows this year, both on home turf here in the UK and away in the Cayman Islands and across the pond, as they say, in Texas, for the UK versus USA. Plans for more of the same next year, so really exciting times for the promoters, but also for all the fighters involved to have the opportunities to fight abroad and ply their trade in new environments and on new shores. Will all stand them in good stead, and all the better for us to enjoy on FightZone. Spencer Binks and Karl Sampson up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, our action continues. So now, please welcome into the arena to the blue corner, Karl Sampson.
Spencer Binks then casually making his way to the ring to the sound of Van Morrison, Karl Sampson, sorry, to the sound of Van Morrison, brown-eyed girl. Karl Sampson, the secret, 30 years old, from Sheffield, 6'42" as we await the arrival of Spencer Binks.
And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, now welcome into the arena to the red corner, Spencer Binks.
here comes Spencer Binks then, 3-0-1, just 21 years old, the man from Nottingham. Made his debut last November against Dale Arrowsmith. That one ended in a draw. Had 3 fights this year. A points win against Jake Smith in September. Back in June, a win against Paul Scaife, and then in March against Naeem Ali, who can be a very tricky opponent. Seen him cause all sorts of problems. But he got the win. So 3 wins and a draw on his record, and this one's scheduled for 6 threes.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, our next bout of the evening. Scotland boxing promotions private business 6 rounds of action in the super lightweight division. Stream live and exclusively on FightZone. This bout sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Their supervisor here at ringside, Mr. Warren Churchill. Our timekeeper of the belt for this bout, Mr. Martin Fallon, and our referee in charge of the action and scoring the bout, Mr. Chris Jones. So introducing to you first, boxing out of the blue corner, is official weight on the scales, 10 stone at 2 pounds 6 ounces. He is an experienced boxer, and tonight he is in the ring for the 50th time, wearing the black and grey shorts from Sheffield, presenting Karl Sampson. His opponent tonight, standing across the ring, boxing out of the red corner. His official weight on the scales, 10 stone exact. He enters the ring with a professional record, 3 victories and 1 draw, wearing the black and purple and silver shorts from Bestwood Village, presenting Spencer Binks. Our referee, Mr. Chris Jones, here his final instructions.
Boxes out of the Frontier Boxing Gym in Long Eaton. Spencer Binks, the coach Nathan Kirk and Sam Goodrun. Boxed as an amateur at Benny's ABC under Kev Sheehan, who he says has been a huge influence on him. I'm sure he'll be very proud to see him here now, plying his trade in the professional ranks. He's had lots of sparring with Joe Hughes, who we saw in against Lopez in the 6th bout this evening. This is the 5th time out as a professional for Binks. Scheduled for 6 threes.
This has started off a bit spiteful.
Samson, the man from Sheffield in the black and grey shorts, 6-42-1. So brings a decent bit of experience to this. His last win came last November against Lee Gormley. That was a points win over in Wigan. Made his debut in 2022 and he has been very active since. Just short of 50 bouts as a professional. He's making things difficult here for Binks.
Referees being quite active in these opening, minute and a half. As they're colliding.
Binks' corner just advising him to relax and work off the jab, which I'm sure he's trying to do, but easier said than done when you've got
someone just closing that gap, yeah.
Pushing the way forward at you in an aggressive style as Samson is doing. He's really putting it on him, Samson, and sometimes the away fighters, they just fancy it, don't they? And he has had 6 wins, 1 by stoppage. And so, might fancy this tonight, Samson. Certainly his body language is suggesting as much, Max.
Yeah, you just never know, do you?
He's up on his toes, switching his stance. And he looks ready to pounce, doesn't he?
He's trying
Certainly
to
providing a test and asking questions of Binks in this opening round, that's for sure.
Yes. He caught him on the way in then. Samson. Referee's got a bit of a job in his hands, keep separating them here.
Really confident style, Karl Sampson. Plenty of movement, fleet-footed, low guard.
It's quite interesting,
making
that
it
round.
difficult for Spencer Binks, who just 21 years old. Had 26 amateur fights though, and that included a East Midlands Championship. And his dad boxed originally and took him along to the gym, and he ended up loving it. So his first fight at 13 years old. Inspired by Calzaghe and Ben and Eubank and the fighters from that era. And who isn't? What a golden age that was for the sport of boxing. Being tested here, Max.
Yeah, I feel Samson had that first round, if I'm honest with you, Stacey. So Binks has to be more cleaner. Get that jab off. And yeah, so referee's just telling him, making it clean. Try not to make it scrappy. Just hearing from Binks's corner variations.
Binks took centre ring initially, just unable to push Samson back though, as Samson then again takes the dominant position.
You just never know, you know when you see his journeyman like, Samson coming and having a go, you never know what the referee's looking at, what.
Some of them love a scrap, Max. They really like mixing it. That's part of what is the enjoyment for them, isn't it? They enjoy the battle.
True. It's not just picking up the purse. You get those journeymen, like clearly by Samson, he's just.
They enjoy the craft of the battle, don't they?
Just turning it on. You just don't know. You're just getting up one day, and all it takes them in the bad mood, these journeymen, and turning it on. I'm seeing that by Samson.
He's got plenty about him, Samson. We've seen him in action before, and we know what he can do, and that he can turn it on, and it looks to be the case that he's doing that this evening.
He's forcing the pace. He's closing that gap.
Binks struggling to keep him off at times.
Yeah.
Changing his stance as well. Binks just needs to get behind that jab first to settle things, and also stop this momentum for Samson, because he's enjoying this flow and fluidity, and he can break that up, Binks, with a stiff jab. Falling short with it, needs to step in. That's better.
I feel Binks is not using his levers. He's got all that, reach, and he's not using it. He's not using it to his advantage. Yes, Samson is.
A big backhand there, and those levers are not a great deal of use if your feet aren't in position, and he's not quite getting his feet in range. And another big shot right on the chin of Binks. Checked his chin there for sure, and Binks now just having to hold in. He's backed up against the ropes now, with Samson just trying to create the space to let his hands go, and Binks just holding on. And that's the right thing to do in this situation, because he's under immense pressure here. Back against the ropes again, trying to turn him, but Samson just out wrestling him. Another big backhand from Samson, straight down the pipe.
Samson's
Binks in trouble here, finding himself square-footed back against the ropes, and just having to swing to survive here.
I feel this is another Samson round.
Took some big shots there.
Yeah.
Did Spencer Binks.
He's finished off really strong, Samson. I feel that's 2 rounds up for Samson.
Let's see some of his work here. Samson
Watch this.
That backhand doing the damage initially.
Watch this. It's quite clever by Samson, you think about it. He's just closing the gap. He's not letting him, he's forcing the pace. Closing that gap.
And when he's up close, he sticks his head on his chest and then works away. But
yes,
that's not what's done the damage. It was that mid-range work where he slipped and let the backhand go, as we just saw there.
Yeah.
Right on the chin of Binks. Did well to take that. The corner just trying to settle him. Trying to make sure he doesn't panic and remains composed. He's got a difficult job ahead of him here should Samson continue in the same vein.
Gotta get a grip
He
here.
knows it can hurt him now. Finding his range and his timing. Binks got to remain switched on. Get that jab working for him. Keep switching stance as well. He's come out in the southpaw stance. Now Samson, just as I say that, switches back to orthodox, so keeping Binks guessing in that regard as well. Can't afford to be in range, Binks, without throwing, because Samson will take that opportunity and launch an attack. And that slip and backhand has been so effective. Really poses a threat because he possesses some power in those fists, Max. Another big backhand there from Samson landed, and he is doing well to take these, Binks, but preferably be avoiding them altogether in the first place.
I think Samson, if he gets this round, Binks is going to have to do a knockout here. Because
good stiff jab from Samson. Another big backhand as well, and Binks really has to take his head off that central axis.
It's no head movement, and he's like you're saying, he's just not slipping. He's
Can't
not
just
moving.
come in straight lines because he's being picked off by Samson.
Yep,
And that's what's doing the damage time and time again.
And again,
he's taking these rounds, Samson.
you would think, looking at this, Stacey, you'd think Samson is the home fighter. And again, he took another hook there.
Samson resets himself. Southpaw position, back to orthodox, stalking his man. Looking for that backhand again.
Binks needs to start being busy with a jab now. Come on.
Long way to go in this one as well. It is scheduled for 6 threes and taken a lot of punishment in the first half of this contest to Spencer Binks. Taking it well though, but got to make the adjustments. Otherwise he's going to take another loss here if this continues. You would expect anyway. Continuous pressure up against the ropes from Samson. Nice little combo there from Binks. I'll give him a little bit of confidence.
I mean,
at the end of that round.
Who do you think got that round then, Stokes?
Samson, not in doubt for me whatsoever.
Exactly.
I
think he's 3 rounds
got
up.
Stronger and stronger. So Binks really got to do something here.
3 rounds up.
As we see, there's that backhand again, as we saw in the replay. Just walking right onto it, Binks. He's got to tighten things up defensively, and again, you can just see, just stepping in a little bit too casually in a linear fashion. He's going to come in, he has to take his head off that central axis, because Samson, with that big backhand, is finding a home. And you just ask yourself how many more of these Binks can take. If he takes one where he's not quite got his feet under him, it could be an early night. So we've seen fights turn at the halfway point. Binks still got the opportunity to do that, 3 rounds remaining. From our perspective here at ringside, I think that Samson's had the better of it, and then some, in those opening 3. You may see it differently at home. But on our book, Binks got work to do here. First of all, he's got to deal with the issue of shipping those solid backhands from Samson, which have done the damage in the last couple of rounds.
First of all, Stacey, Samson keeps walking him down. He needs to establish that jab and put it straight on him, and establish his dominance. Get cut. Samson's not respecting him effectively. He's not respecting any power, anything. Samson's free flowing coming forward.
Samson's certainly continuing to force the issue, although some decent attacks initiated from Binks in this round. Mix of those single jabs and 1-2s, but again struggling to keep Samson off as he again sticks his head on his chest and works away. A little battering ram at times when he comes forward, Samson, isn't he? Just biding his time. And when he decides to explode, he
starts launching like
really
an
ignites
attack.
that aggression.
Exactly. It's interesting, Stacey. We always talk about levers and previous fights, and different fights are different. But Spencer, not really once in this fight, has used his height, reach, anything. Which is a shame. All the attributes for him, and he's not using it. He's just getting caught then.
He's getting a little bit scrappy now. Final stages of the 4th round. Oh, and a big backhand straight away as the action resumed from Samson there. Binks again took it well though.
And again.
Working up against the ropes. His ambition for Spencer Binks is to headline a show in Nottingham for the Midlands title. That's what he has his eye on, and then says if he could contest for titles down the line, English, Commonwealth, British, then that would be a bonus. But initially, that's what he wants to do, is headline a show here for a Midlands title, and those plans could be scuppered momentarily anyway. Should he take a loss here, it can affect what's next for a fighter. That'd be the first loss in his record. He's 3-0-1, so he's had a draw and 3 wins. Potentially could be looking at his first loss here, but there's still 2 rounds to go. We don't know how it's being scored as yet. We've just got our opinions at ringside, of course, so that counts for nothing. And Binks, he hasn't boxed poorly particularly. It's not a criticism of him, but he's just been faced with a really up for it, aggressive, energetic Samson.
I mean, is it, Stace? Is it like a multitude of Spencer Binks not really at the races and Carl outperforming, or is it, you know, he's having a terrible night itself, Binks? What do you think? I mean, if I'm honest, I think Carl's forcing, Samson's forcing the pace, and he's closing the gap, knowing as an experienced journeyman's doing. Binks doesn't know how to really cope with it. He's getting flustered.
30 years old Samson from Sheffield. A really good account of himself here tonight. All of that aggression has had an accumulative effect, and An impressive display from him. Spencer Binks enjoying his own successes as well, but you do feel
It's too late.
he's been under pressure for the majority of these rounds, and the biggest difference of all are those eye-catching shots that really check the chin of Binks,
Clinical.
particularly in rounds 2 and 3.
I think what Binks needs, I'm going to be straightforward, honestly, he needs a knockout. He needs to pull a rabbit out of the hat. You know, all his attributes aren't doing him anything at the minute. And look what Samson's doing. He's bullying him. It's like a ram, like you just said previously, Stace. Oh, see that coming in. Chins
Another big
again.
shot. Yeah, it's not a matter of picking the lock, this, is it? It's smashing the door down is what Samson's doing.
He's got his chin in his air, his arms down. Look, you know, what do you expect? And Samson's going to catch him.
Skipping his way around the periphery of the ring, and then
He's wasting time as well, and he's being clever with
stepping
it.
to Binks once again, taking it to him. Finding himself backed up again, Binks, against the ropes and in that corner, just trying to turn him and wrestle his way out of there.
I think that's the
Does
Samson
a full-time
round.
job outside boxing, Binks, as many of these boxers will do, so a lot of demands, of course, with making weight and training and working as well. Put a lot into this, selling tickets on top of it, so
I feel Samson's. Look, I'm going to be honest. Binks needs a knockout. He needs to come out and try and knock him out, because I'll be flabbergasted if he gets a result tonight. Samson's come here and just spoilt the party, in my opinion. And Samson, he's no mug, you know. To be fair, he's previously I've seen him. I haven't seen him as good as this, so I don't know if he just fancies it tonight or what. Strange, some gentlemen, they really are. They do baffle me.
touch of gloves ahead of this final round. And a reminder, we've got Kyle Sampson, 30-year-old from Sheffield in the black and silver, and Spencer Binks, just 21 years old, remember, from Nottingham in the black and purple. So he's very young, so no matter the result here,
you can come again.
Plenty of time for him to rebuild, and it can temporarily scupper your plans. As I say, he wants to eventually be in a position to fight for the Midlands title and headline a show in Nottingham. Plenty of time for that to come to fruition, and these type of fights are exactly what's going to be brilliant experience for him, no matter what's to come, Max. Get far more out of this, and I know we say it time and time again, but it's because it's true. Get far more out of this than somebody who just stands there and lets him
rolls over,
be a human punch bag. He's getting plenty back here from Samson, isn't he? So real learning fight for him, no matter what the outcome.
I think as well, it is a common thing through it. A journeyman just turns up, but Samson's turned up again. And Binks, it's a common expression, you either win or learn. It's either win or get educated, and sometimes this fight Binks will learn off than his previous 3 bouts. Getting educated, you learn more about yourself. But how do you come back from this? That's the trick.
They can definitely come back from it no matter what, and of course we've no idea what the result's going to be here. We're just saying it as we see it from here, and he's been really good in spells, Spencer Binks. Done some good work in there, but ultimately the real firepower and eye-catching shots are from Samson, so perhaps that'll sway it in his favour, but we do not know which way this will go, because of course it's not our decision to make, and you, as I say, may well have it differently at home, because has been some good spells for Spencer Binks. He's
snippets, yes.
Some decent combinations he's put together, and had his fair share of success, but Samson been the aggressor on the front foot, applying that pressure. And those right hands have really done the damage throughout this contest. Plenty of time no matter what for Spencer Binks. He's 21 years old, but of course he won't want to be patient. He want to be hurtling towards that ambition of getting in position for a Midlands title. Trying to chase down Samson now. He's just got on his bike. Closing few seconds. Binks just getting smothered there, not having space to let his shots go, but manages to get a couple through right at the end there. And you can never call it how these things will go, but
you never know what the ref's going to say, or you know, or what they're scoring.
Had the better of the majority of those rounds, I think it's fair to say, with his movement, ring generalship. He looked dominant, he imposed himself, and ultimately those backhands like that one right there that we've just seen on the replay,
plenty of times,
doing some real damage. What a cracking shot that, timed it perfectly.
I don't think Binks got around, if I'm honest.
Walked him onto it and then made sure he wasn't there to be hit on the return. Lovely, lovely work from Kyle Sampson that. Good in spells from Spencer Binks. But perhaps you have to say a learning fight this one, no matter the outcome. We're going to find out the outcome now though. My MC Jonathan Millard.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both fighters here in the ring. After 6 rounds of action, we go to our referee's scorecard. Referee Chris Jones scores the contest 58-56 for your winner, Karl Sampson.
And that's fair enough. Doesn't always happen that, I have to say, that when the away fighter puts in a good shift, it can be given a draw at best, and that was fair.
That is very fair. I mean, if anything, I didn't give Binks around, if I'm honest. I'm being blatantly honest.
There's some good work from him, phases, but ultimately
snippets.
That's a fair result for Kyle Sampson, because it was a good performance from him. Boxed really well on the front foot, aggressive.
I mean, seen it.
The way he landed those backhands, the timing, the accuracy, the quality stuff from him. So things to work on for Spencer Binks, just 21 years old.
He was young.
Only his 5th contest, so plenty of scope for him.
He got educated.
To move on from here.
He got educated. How many times, Stacey, have we seen journeymen come and not get a fair result? We've seen it
the 14th of December as well, so do put those on your calendars. A bit more boxing action to squeeze in before the festive season is upon us, and a big 2025 ahead. It's been a big year for FightZone TV and the promoters involved. Cayman Islands shows across the pond in Texas, plenty more of that to come in 2025. But right here now, our final bout of the evening. Let's get the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, the time has come for your main event of the evening. So please welcome first into the arena to the blue corner, Oscar Soto Quintana.
Here he comes then, the Mexican, 25-year-old who goes by Nino, Oscar Soto Quintana, 7-6-0. He's won 3 by stoppage, and he's been stopped twice as well in his 13 fights. A confident stride towards the ring. Made his debut in 2018. He's had the 13 fights in those 6 years. And this is his first time fighting in the UK.
And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please make some noise and welcome into the arena to the red corner, Kyle Davies.
Facing the Mexican this evening, the man from Stoke, lives in Warrington, Kyle Davies, 8-0, unbeaten, 23 years old. Trained out of his own gym that he runs with his coach Joe Eccleston, Bluestone Boxing in Stoke-on-Trent. Joe Eccleston has been his coach since his amateur debut. His assistant Steve Bumby also from his amateur days. He's had top level sparring, the likes of Callum Simpson, Mark Jeffers, Troy Jones, Jimmy Sains, Rampton Musa. It's some roll call that is, and of course his mentor Adam Smith, who's making his way to his corner as well. He's part of Adam Smith's management team. He's got a great team behind him. He's had great sparring. He's had regular sparring over the years with Anthony Yard. He's also done rounds with Ben Whittaker, Dan Aziz and Lyndon Harper, so well prepared for what's in front of him against Nino, the Mexican, Oscar Soto Quintana. Kyle Davies, 8-0, our final bout of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, your main event of the evening. Scar Kalo Boxing Promotions proudly present 8 rounds of boxing in the light heavyweight division. Streamed live and exclusive on FightZone. This bout sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Their supervisor here at ringside, Mr. Warren Churchill. Our timekeeper at the bell, Mr. Martin Fallon. And our referee in charge of the action and scoring the bout, Mr. Ryan Churchill. So introducing to you first, our first boxer, boxing out of the blue corner. His official weight on the scales, 12 stone, 9 pounds, 2 ounces. He enters the ring tonight with a professional record, 7 victories and 6 defeats. Wearing the white, trimmed in black, from Hermosillo, Mexico, please welcome Oscar Soto Quintana. His opponent, standing across the ring and boxing out of the red corner. His official weight on the scales, 12 stone, 7 pounds, 3 ounces. Tonight, he enters the ring with a perfect professional record, 8 victories, 4 coming within the distance, and no defeats. And careful with Solar Trim from Warrington, Staffordshire, presenting Kyle Davies. Our referee, Mr. Richard, shall take his final instructions.
Great reception for Kyle Davies in here, the unbeaten light heavyweight. Oscar Soto Quintana fighting in the UK for the first time. One win by KO last year against Alan Lara Juarez. 2 fights this year, coming in Montreal, Canada in January. And a loss in August against Ivan Hernandez on points in Mexico. Kyle Davies will be wanting to put on a big performance for this crowd here in the Rushcliffe Arena, and it's gone up some decibels. Looking forward to this main event of the evening. Kyle Davies in the purple maroon shorts, Quintana in white.
Do you know what, Stacey? You never know these Mexicans when they turn up what you're going to get with them. They're just hard as nails, a lot of them.
Very similar build, these two, similar body shape. Well conditioned Quintana. Had a very confident stride as he made his way to the ring and took his time absorbing it once he entered the ring, and the crowd in fine voice now getting behind Kyle Davies, who's establishing that jab well at the opening stages of this first round. Scheduled for 8 threes this one. Taking his time. Davies is backed him up on the ropes, but just being considered in his approach. Disciplined display so far from Davies, this. Economic as well, not wasting anything, nice and relaxed. Just finding his range with that jab.
Feels, you know, Mexicans, Quintana, he's not showing all his cards yet. He's just waiting what Davies is doing.
Making use of that jab to the body, really stabs it in, steps in behind that front foot with it, doesn't he, Max?
Yeah. I just...
That can often be a precursor.
Could be a
using
trigger.
that to then come over the top with the backhand eventually, but
Yeah.
using it well as a single shot for now.
Phil Quintana's trying to invite him. Quintana he strikes me as a fighter. He's not fear. He's a bit fearless. He's seen it all, sort of thing. So
really forceful with that straight jab to the body, Davies. Really comfortable at long range is Davies.
I just feel it's just feeling each other out, nothing silly. Davies has been cautious, so he hasn't let his hands go, just feeling his way in.
Takes inspiration from James Toney and Floyd Mayweather amongst others. Kyle Davies had 7 bouts as an amateur. In the Haringey final, of course, a tournament that takes place every summer at Alexander Palace. You get all different nationalities there. It's a great opportunity in the amateurs to come up against different styles, and having reached the final there, shows that he brings some amateur pedigree to this, but 8-0 as a professional, most importantly. Very composed figure, Kyle Davies, as he stands from his stool for round 2. Steady, composed and calculated so far, and Quintana happy to leave it as such. Not coming forward too much as he is. Happy to let Davies be at long range for now.
I feel both fighters are just not showing all their cards. It's just not setting on fire like we are looking for. They're just working each other out.
Different personalities and ways that boxers express themselves in the ring, of course. Some just love the brawl, love the battle, love mixing it up. Others take great pride in the sweet science of hit and not get hit, and methodical and precise about their work. Overhand right from Quintana finding a home there though. Nothing to trouble Davies too much though, as he's back behind the jab again. Really important at this stage, unbeaten in 8. Matchmaking, important for them to get it right as they develop his career. They've got the right people behind him. The voice of boxing, as he's referred to, of course, Adam Smith, vastly experienced in many different capacities in the sport, and now of course to his management team, supporting boxers like Kyle Davies to help them reach their full potential. He's here in the corner with him this evening. Not a great deal coming from Quintana to trouble Davies, just the odd speculative overhand right at times, but nothing that Davies can't handle. Little jab there, knocking his head back though.
I just feel they're not going to put combos together, just keeping 1s, 2s.
Nice work there from Davies. He's controlling the intensity, controlling the pace, controlling the distance. Well within his comfort zone here as well from Davies.
There's another decent jabs there by Davies.
Good discipline display this so far. And the man from Stoke.
I don't know if Quintana just wants Davies to come in and just get involved and try and invite him. But just clean work.
With those shots right at the end there, the lead hook and the backhand. That was good work from Davies.
Just want to see Davies a little bit more busy. Like to the end of that round, he was a bit busier with that jab. I want to see more of that.
We ended up having a chat, Kyle Davies and I, about Rocky as it happens, because he got into boxing, funnily enough, after watching the Rocky box set at Christmas, and then he was straight in the gym that January, and we were having a good chat about a mutual love of Rocky.
Yeah.
And we were saying, even though it's fictional, in a way, it is a true story.
Yeah, it is,
for many fighters it is anyway, and I'm sure many have taken inspiration from his story, which has become the true story and the real life story for many boxers over the decades since. And Kyle Davies maybe will be one of them. As we enter round 3, been a good, controlled, disciplined display from Kyle Davies so far. This one's scheduled for 8 threes. Davies in the maroon shorts as he ships a lead hand from Quintana in white. Just loading up with those shots there, the Mexican. Really effective use of that jab from Kyle Davies. He has done a few rounds with Lyndon Arthur, and it's very Lyndon Arthur-esque, is that, isn't it?
Yes.
Controlling the distance with that jab. He's mixed it up to the body and back up to the head as well. It's really not allowed Quintana to gain any momentum or set himself. Quintana finding his way through with a lead hand, but an instant reply from Davies. Nice work to the body there, just edging in with behind that front foot, setting up his work nicely, Davies. Good work to that body as well. It's just finding that little gap beneath the right elbow of Quintana. Wild swing from him, left himself exposed, but wasn't exploited by Davies, which was fortunate for Quintana on that occasion.
Just want to see Davies just turn that screw a little bit more, go that extra gear now. Double up on the jab.
Nice work. Stiff jab from Davies, a little layback and straight back in with the backhand down the pipe. That was lovely work. Set that backhand up really well there. Really impressive his work to the body as well, Max.
Yeah.
Because you know that these are going to be having a cumulative effect on the Mexican.
This Mexican Quintana, he just tucks up really well when he comes into that, mid to close range. So trying to get him exposed, he's quite disciplined. It's just when he does that wild swing, Davies can come in there and get to with right hands and jab.
Quintana just finding a way through with that backhand, but again, immediate response from Davies, who's well in control here.
I feel Davies just cruising for me at the minute.
Quintana firing back, but Davies in reply and then some, loading up as he backs his man up against the ropes, and it really caught fire at the end of that round there, and much to the delight of the crowd.
Good exchange at the end of that.
Appreciating the response from Davies there.
As we just see in here, Quintana just retreating, but Davies is just in control, taking centre of the ring. He just doesn't look troubled at all, Davies. Just doesn't look, he looks calm, composed, I just want to see him turn that screw a little bit more and force it and look for it a little bit. That's all. We talk about boxing, it's all about gears. I want to see him get out to gear 2, 3.
Shown glimpses here, Quintana at times of being willing to trade and let his hands go, and we may see more of that as this one progresses. Indeed, as he loads up there, wild swing, misses with that one, but showing us that he does have that in his locker and that he's willing to trade, so could really catch fire this one. But Davies more than up to that challenge, it seems.
He just got caught there.
Good work from Quintana. Just showing that he poses a threat. Of course, light heavyweight. Some weight behind those shots. It's been such an effective shot for Davies, that stab to the body, which has just kept pummeling in to the torso of Quintana. There it goes again, and it's allowing him to set up the combinations off of it and also prevent Quintana setting himself. Really good use of the jab from Kyle Davies throughout these first few rounds. Nice work to the body, and then just a little roll to evade the reply from Quintana.
Notice, Stacey, boxers are quite unique. I haven't seen once by Davies pouring out meaningful jabs he does. They're variations, but they're all meaningful. So, what am I trying to say? Why pour? You don't need to. If you're doing it right, you don't need to pour out.
Another, the final minute of the fourth. It's been really entertaining, this has. Quintana has kept it competitive, although Kyle Davies has certainly imposed his style and controlled things, particularly with that really effective use of the jab. As we see it there again, just taking the momentum from Quintana, who's about to launch towards him. Just that jab right in his face prevented his attack. Wild swings from Quintana. That's what he's had to resort to at times, such as the control and discipline applied by Davies.
Phil Quintana's just wild at times.
Believe it or not, he enjoys riding horses, does Kyle Davies. He's done a bit of show jumping, he owns horses as well, so multi-talented. Although I guess as his career progresses, they won't want him to be riding horses too much, at risk of injury. Calm and composed in the Kyle Davies corner. As we enter the second half of this one, round 5 of a scheduled 8. Straight back behind that jab, Davies, as Quintana just loading up.
So it's starting to hotten up now. Quintana's just forced that pace.
Doesn't tend to put combinations together, Quintana. The single shots, but he really loads up on them.
So he's making Davies now turn it up. Just that little bit
more.
Oh,
good shot there from Quintana with the lead hook. Took it well though, Davies. Just not rattled him, he remains composed. Backed him up again against the ropes here.
It's Phil Davies a little bit hesitant here. He should have just fired a few shots.
I think he's just setting up the openings. I don't think he's tentative, I just think he's waiting for the opportunity to present itself, and when it did, he caught him with a solid backhand to set up this current attack here. He pushes him back against the ropes again, just trying to set up those openings. He's measured and precise, Davies, with his work.
It's clean work by Davies though. Clean work. Disciplined as well.
Nice solid backhand there.
See that body shot, very nice. Quintana didn't like that.
Backs him up against the ropes again. Putting his shots together nicely here, Davies.
Referee's having a look.
He's got him pinned against the ropes here now. Good work from Davies, but Quintana manages to weather that storm for now. Finds himself back against the ropes again. Davies pushing him back, pummeling that backhand. Straight and uppercut. Varying his shots here. Nice variety here from Kyle Davies. Turn the screw a little here, going through the gears. He's up the intensity. And there's that stiff jab to the body, which surely must be taking its toll now on the Mexican.
This is what
Great work to the body with the shot sinking it in, particularly behind, just beneath the right elbow of Quintana, but also those straight shots to the body. Catches him with that lead hand, and we're seeing a tired looking Quintana now. Mouth gaping open, sucking the air in. He's going to have to dig in. And you can just see that Kyle Davies has many more gears which he can go to if needed. A wild, tired swing from Quintana there with that lead hook.
Very good
really
round.
Good work in that round from Kyle Davies.
What did I say? Turning that screws, turn it up, and that's what I wanted to see from Davies.
Still levels to come from him, and this has been a really controlled and disciplined display. Very impressive. Just a reminder, he's only 23 years old, the man from Stoke, so lots and lots of time to develop physically and of course gain experience in the ring as well, as we look back at some of his work in that round.
It's clean work, it's disciplined work.
And he's not frantic when he has Quintana up against the ropes. He doesn't get a rush of blood to the head, he stays composed, picks his shots and sets up the openings. Impressive stuff from the young man.
Yeah, Stace, I mean, as well with Carl, he's good with the work, and not only that, he doesn't waste. He's not
looking
wasteful.
tired here, Quintana, and that body language indicates that he knows he's in
a bit of trouble maybe
for a tough 9 minutes should it go the distance. Round 6 here, scheduled for 8.
I like Davies. He's not wasteful. He's purposeful, not wasteful. Discipline, you notice, right by his chin. He's kept that.
Great work with that jab, sometimes just pouring it out as a rangefinder, other times landing a stiff shot. So Quintana unable to predict what's coming from Davies, but maintaining that control throughout. Really solid display from him.
Quintana's now, I feel Davies can get a stoppage. Quintana's starting to dip in, intensity as Davies starting to turn it up.
And that tiredness is a result of this accumulative pressure from Kyle Davies, the work to the body, which is having an effect now, but also the levels of concentration Quintana's having to maintain, because it's sustained, steady, measured pressure from Davies. Really good shot selection as well, doesn't waste his shots, doesn't get carried away and greedy.
This is really good work by Davies.
Continues to be measured and precise even in the thick of the action. Backs him up against the ropes again.
I feel Davies could force a stoppage.
He's worn him down here. And he's really going to work here on the ropes, and Quintana just bobbing and weaving and trying to be elusive as possible. But Davies taking his time. Quintana firing back, but there's less and less power in those shots because he's been slowly undone by Davies here. Sometimes picking the lock, sometimes blasting the door open, but either way finding a way through Davies, and in impressive fashion as well. Quintana looking increasingly tired here, and his spirit is being broken as well. Although, credit to him, still willing to stand and trade, as is the reputation, of course, of Mexican fighters. And another really good round for Kyle Davies. So look back at some of those highlights there and you can see precise, measured, nothing erratic. He's not getting carried away.
It's not wasteful, is he, Stacey?
Great shot selection from Davies.
He's not wasteful, and that's, he's just a disciplined fighter.
Sets his shots up really well, and took one there from Quintana, as you can see, but again, no panic. Continued to display the basics really well, and then turn on the style when it needs to as well. Really good work this from Davies.
I'd like to see a stoppage by Davies, if I'm honest.
Penultimate round here then, as this one's scheduled for 8 threes. Quintana taking his time yet again to get to his feet, which probably indicates he's trying to get every single second that he can from that minute break, and he needs it. Not going to help him here though. Nowhere to hide for him as Davies applying the pressure now.
Good combos.
And it's been progressive this, he's just turned it up, that heat, bit by bit each round, but Quintana firing back to his credit. But it's a risky business for the Mexican because Kyle Davies right in front of him, going nowhere.
You notice he steps out of range.
And picking his shots in a really intelligent manner.
Yeah, very intelligent. Fires a 1-2, then steps back out because he knows that wild swing's going to come. Very clever by Davies.
Nice work this from Kyle Davies. It's literally like he's turned the thermostat up bit by bit by bit each round, and now Quintana is really feeling the heat. Good work from Davies. It's built and built to a crescendo, and Quintana certainly has felt the effects of it. Just trying to fight his way off the ropes yet again. Trying to tuck up now and fire back when he can. Mouth gaping open. Very, very fatigued for the Mexican. Davies though.
Referee's having a look here.
Plenty in the tank for the man from Stoke, as yet again steps to his man, cuts off the ring and goes again. Dejected looking Quintana in front of him now, fighting his way off the ropes, which leaves him open, and Davies exploiting that and finding the gaps. Final minute of the penultimate round here, and Davies again stepping forward behind that jab. Quintana in survival mode here. The crowd chanting, there's only one Kyle Davies. They're enjoying and appreciating his work here, and rightly so. Really good display. On their feet ringside with enthusiasm, imploring him forward. Good work again, pins him up against the ropes again, struggling to get out of the corner here, Quintana. A flurry from him, manages to weather the storm for a moment or two, but there's more big waves coming, and they're coming in bunches here from Quintana. Finds his way through with that uppercut. Haven't seen much of the uppercut so far, but got it off well there. And another really good round for Davies, and this is impressive stuff. I'm repeating myself here, but rightly so, Max, really impressed.
Yeah. Look at this decent disciplined stuff by Carl. He's not rushing in. If you notice, as he goes in, jab, right hand, he does a hook, but he steps out of range because he knows that wild swing is coming from Quintana. It looks like you're looking at the both corners. Quintana's absolutely spent, and if you look at Kyle Davies' corner, it looks like he's not even really. It's just a sparring session now. It's
got great support in here. It does create a good atmosphere here in the Rushcliffe Arena. It's got a very low ceiling. And his supporters, they've got banners that they're holding aloft, they're on their feet, cheering his name, and they've really enjoyed this one, and rightly so, as we enter the 8th and final round of what has been an excellent display from Kyle Davies, picking apart the Mexican bit by bit. This continues
Just
in the same fashion. Quintana finding himself on the ropes yet again, pinned back as Davies goes to work.
catching him.
Great work from Davies, just taking that little step back to create the space to get those shots off, and Quintana really in trouble here, exhausted, absolutely in survival mode, and credit to him, he's willing to trade when he can, but he's having to bite down on his gum shield to get through this relentless pressure from Davies. Turning up that thermostat again, close to boiling here, and Quintana really having to struggle through this final round. His body language
Good
telling you
shot.
everything you need to know. Referee having a close look at him here. Davies again, stepping to his man. Being encouraged forward from the corner, Kyle Davies. The voice of Adam Smith, his mentor, his management team behind the 23-year-old. Real promising career ahead of him. It's been a good display here. And forward, really high pace as well. The Mexican not as willing to engage now, a very, very tired, fatigued, speculative uppercut there. Davies putting a combination together, and that little step back to allow that backhand.
Nice.
Really effective there. And an exhausted Quintana takes a knee, and he'll take the count. Referee having a good look at him, asking him to take a few steps forward.
Yeah.
And he's seen enough, and Davies earns himself the stoppage. He turned up the heat, that thermostat, bit by bit, gradually. And when he really turned it up, he picked apart Quintana, broke his spirit, broke him down. Really controlled, disciplined, impressive display for the 23-year-old from Stoke. Great support in here, holding their banners aloft. They're all stood up at ringside chanting his name. And he's got great potential, because we saw an excellent display there. Each round he offered something new, and when he turned it up and went through the gears, Quintana just couldn't live with him. He was willing to trade at times, but he really took that wind from his sails, did Kyle Davies, and looked like he still had more in the tank to give at the end as well. Forced the stoppage in the end, right decision from the referee, and a really good win for Kyle Davies to go 9-0 and remains unbeaten as a professional. And people have got a right to be excited about him, Max.
Yeah, Carl, he's been disciplined throughout this fight. You know, kept it very disciplined, and yeah, it's exciting things to come from him. Didn't get carried away.
All smiles in the corner there. Joe Eccleston, Adam Smith and the rest of the team delighted with their man's performance, and rightly so. Let's get the official announcement from Jonathan Millard.
At a time of 2 minutes, 20 seconds of round 8, our referee stops the contest. Your winner by TKO, Kyle Davies.
Well, do remember the name and look out for him next time his name is on the fight card, because that was a really impressive display from Kyle Davies, and you just know there's plenty more to come. He's had some top level sparring which will have stood him in good stead, Max, but you can see there, really bright prospect.
He did really well. Do you know what it is? We've seen previously tonight, other boxers, you know, they were wasteful in the shots. Kyle tonight was not wasteful in those shots.
And it was the manner in which he controlled that contest in every aspect.
Absolutely.
His ring generalship,
Absolutely.
that jab was an incredible weapon for him.
And it was no
Stabbing
pouring.
it to the body, bringing it up to the head, setting up his shots.
Yes.
Didn't get greedy, didn't get a rush of blood to the head when he had him pinned on the ropes,
You know,
which was frequent. Picked his shots really well, considered, precise, accurate. Lots to like about Kyle Davies.
Yes. I can't. Look, you know, I want to see a little bit more of a test. I want to see a little bit put on him in the shootout, maybe. I don't. You know, I like to. Can't wait to see where it brings him. You know, he's definitely got titles for him.
Well, look out for him in future. This is why it's important for fighters to have this platform on FightZone TV to develop their careers, and we may well see Kyle Davies down the line on the big stage. Just 23 years old, the man from Stoke, and what a mature performance that was. And they'll be delighted in his corner. He's got Adam Smith, his mentor and management team behind him. So he's got the right people guiding his career outside of the ring as well. He's got a good partnership with Joe Eccleston, his coach. So big things ahead for Kyle Davies. And he did that in
style.
such an impressive manner and looked like he had many gears to go through as well.
I didn't think
So
we
that
saw.
rounds off a great night of action here
I didn't
at
think
the Rushcliffe Arena in
Gear
Nottingham on
5.
FightZone TV under Scott Kalo Boxing Promotions. And a great end to the evening. A solid performance from Kyle Davies. Credit to Oscar Soto Quintana, who made it competitive for the most part. But a really impressive display for Kyle Davies and one to watch. Thank you for joining us tonight on FightZone TV. Thanks to Max Jenkins for joining us on commentary, and all at Scott Kalo Boxing Promotions and FightZone TV. Plenty more on the way. Remember the 6th of December from York Hall on FightZone TV, and the 14th of December as well. So plenty more professional boxing action on the way before the festive break, and a big 2025. Of course, this year saw shows in the Cayman Islands and across at Texas, across the pond as well. Plenty more of that to come. So stay tuned and keep across the social media channels on FightZone TV to find out what's in store. I've been Stacey Copeland. It's been a pleasure to call the action this evening, and we'll see you again soon.